Welcome to this retro content from Throwback Thursdays, whether it's from NoDQ.com, the Jeff Meacham Network, Casa D18 Studios itself, A Simple Man's Brand, or the J. Hebert Studios, and anything to do with FTW Productions. This will be the content re-aired right here on Throwback Thursdays that you could expect to see on the Casa channel. I know watching back some of our old content, whether it's the open mic night intro where I'm laid on my bed, which I kind of cringe at, especially with this cool ass setup now, or whether it's, just about anything to do with what we have done on FTW Productions, from A Simple Man's Brand, from the J. Hebert Studios, to even some Insanity Works and Retro Wrestling Fortune 44 Incorporated stuff. There's some good stuff, there's some cringe stuff, and either way, I hope you guys enjoy that stuff coming up, and, even if you didn't enjoy it, I'll be along with you for the ride. Some of the stuff does not age well, like Jeff's content does. I know he has done a deep dive on his own content and cringed at his own self, but either way, I hope you enjoy it regardless. I know in some of these clips, I have a fondness to them. So with that being said, enjoy this Throwback Thursday, and until next time, we'll see you on the J. Hebert side.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from NoDQ.com.
Welcome everyone to NoDQ&A video here on NoDQ.com. I am the owner of NoDQ, Aaron Rift. We have Bound for Glory coming up. We have another WWE pay-per-view coming up, Vengeance. We have the cat looking around for ghosts and spirits in the room. It's all fun and games, but right now we got your questions, so let's get right down to them. Do you like Booker T's commentary? I think his commentary reminds me of that one No DQ CAW episode where Bart and Milhouse strung your random catchphrases together into an incoherent mess. Well, first of all, I have not forgiven Bart and Milhouse for doing that. That was very disrespectful, and it was just an embarrassment. So, screw them. But as far as your question goes, I like Booker T a lot. His commentary is bad, but it's comically bad. It's entertaining, and that's what counts at the end of the day. As long as he's not carrying the announcing, I think it's fine. As long as you have a Jim Ross there to do the main announcing and have Booker T kind of be the comic relief or whatever, I think that's fine. And that's what I'm talking about, dog. How big do you think CM Punk has the potential to become? Could he possibly reach the level of Cena and Orton? Well, I think this past summer, CM Punk broke the barrier and got to that next level. He went from being a guy that I think fans saw as a mid to upper card guy to a legit main eventer. Now, it all depends on where things go from here. Will WWE continue to push CM Punk as a top guy? Right now, I think he's definitely the number 3 babyface in the company behind John Cena and Randy Orton. And as I've said in many videos before, I think his best years are ahead of him. So I see CM Punk as being a top guy in WWE for years to come. What up, Aaron? Did you like CM Punk's first theme? I think it fitted him much better than his new one. I liked his old theme a lot, but I do think his new theme is better. I think his new theme, it makes him seem like a big deal. When he comes out to that song, it's a popular song, and the people, when they hear that song, it's like when the Sandman came out to Enter Sandman, or, you use some, big name song. It really makes your guy look like a bigger deal. And part of the problem is some of these rock songs these days are so generic that WWE uses, and it just doesn't help the guy that much. But I think this new song, it really fits CM Punk well. He's the cult of personality. I think it's really good. Really good choice for him. Do you think the U.S. title is losing its appeal? It rarely gets defended anymore, and you never see anyone going after it like the IC title. Well, when was the last time the U.S. title had any kind of real appeal? I mean, both the U.S. title and the IC title have kind of just been there for the past decade or so. They haven't really meant much, either one of them. So I think the U.S. title lost the last... I'm not sure it really ever had much of an appeal during its time in WWE, period. I think it lost its appeal in the late 90s when WCW started going downhill. I think the last time the U.S. title really, was a big deal was when Goldberg had it, to be honest with you. What are your thoughts on the Rock and Wrestling era? The Rock and Wrestling era is the reason that a lot of us are here on YouTube watching this video, why I'm doing this, why I became a fan, why a lot of people became fans. It changed the industry. It took it from something that was taken very seriously as a sport and made it more of a mainstream, streamlined entertainment company and a product. So I think that was a very important era in the wrestling business, and it changed the whole game. Hey Aaron, what are your thoughts on Hulk Hogan's heel promo and the subsequent run with the NWO? Well, if that whole Hogan thing could be in 1996, that could be considered like having the same kind of significance that the Rock and Wrestling era had in the mid-'80s. Hulk Hogan's heel run, once again, just like the Rock and Wrestling, it changed the industry. The NWO, it was up to that point, I think it was the biggest thing that happened in wrestling, and it caused WWE to change their game, and it just made everybody act differently, and suddenly the superhero good guy wasn't cool anymore. It was all about the rebel badass, and that's how, just the culture changed, and then the wrestling culture changed. Do you think Wade Barrett is going to get a title push anytime soon? Oh boy, maybe. I mean, right now, it doesn't seem like it. There's so many guys on SmackDown right now coming from Raw and back and forth, and Wade Barrett's one of those guys that's somewhat getting lost in the shuffle. I mean, he did have a speaking role on Raw this past week with Triple H, so he's still on WWE's radar as a guy they want to protect, and make him a focal point of the TV show. So I think maybe down the line he will get another shot. I think that Wade Barrett's got a lot to offer, and he's got a lot of potential. So perhaps in a year or so, maybe he'll get into another world title picture. We'll see what happens. Do you watch TNA to see how much of a car crash product it becomes week by week? Yes. And do you know what happened to Abyss? We haven't seen him since early August. Maybe Abyss was kidnapped by the same people that kidnapped Samoa Joe. I have no idea. Your thoughts on Bob Holly? I never thought Bob Holly was that great in the ring or that great of a promo. He was just a guy to me, but one thing I admire is he really seems like a legitimate tough guy and a hard worker, not necessarily like a good worker, but a guy who would go in there and always give his best effort and be really passionate about his job. That's the kind of vibe I get from him. And I always remember that one ECW match when his back got just completely ripped, torn open from the table, and he was just bleeding all over the place. And I mean, that guy has to be effing tough to keep going after that. I really thought that was... I gained a lot of respect for him after seeing that, definitely. Do you think WWE rushed to unify the WWE title and the WCW title in December 2001? I think they rushed a lot of things that year, and that was just one of many. So, yeah, they could have spread that out over several months, but, you know, they'd ended the Invasion storyline, so they just wanted to have one title, and of course, they ended up going with the brand extension and splitting the titles again, so whatever. Do you think WWE should rehire Mickie James if TNA ever lets her go? Should they? Maybe. Probably. Will they? I doubt it. There's plenty of women out there that WWE can hire. Plenty of models they can look up, and they can open up just some kind of Victoria's Secret magazine and say, oh, let's hire them, and let's try to train them to become wrestlers. So WWE's always going to look for young women to bring in. Mickie James is getting up there. You know, I'd be surprised if they brought her back. If Brock Lesnar loses his next UFC fight, do you think he'll quit and come back to WWE? I think he's going to be with UFC for the time being, at least another couple of years. If he loses his next fight, you know, he'll stick around. But if he comes back to WWE, it's not going to be for a while. Definitely not anytime soon. And as long as he's under a UFC deal, it's not going to happen. That's just the way it is. All right, that about does it for NoDQ&A video. You can submit a comment, youtube.com/NoDQCAW. Please subscribe. Please spread the word. And my question to you guys today is, what's your favorite Booker T catchphrase? Is it the, what the hell? Or any of those? Let me know what you think. And we'll see you next time for NoDQ&A video.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Gary Hebert, the man, the myth, the legend. I was amazed, and I was looking to become a better skater myself, and I wanted to be like Gary.
When you look at a guy like this, he's one of the most talented people in his profession. He's been given gifts by God.
It can get frustrating at times when you're trying things that maybe don't come as quickly to you as other things. And, you never really felt that sense of frustration with Gary. It was always about improvement and positive reinforcement.
Was it really the end? Was that head injury really the end? God has called Gary to continue to be a blessing to others and to be a passionate example.
My name is Gary Hebert, and this is the World Academy of Hockey, otherwise known as the Inside Edge.
I would recommend anybody that have a chance to come to his hockey school. I think it'd be well worth it. It'd be rewarding to all the kids and anyone who coaches, from whether it's an adult, a professional player, to a little kid like a Mite or a Squirt.
Gary, from day one, has been instrumental to my hockey career. I started out as a potential Division III player, and Gary brought me single-handedly through high school and into a top Division I prospect. I owe it all to Gary, the biggest legend on and off ice there's ever been.
Listen, watch, learn, be confident, and have faith. Those are the answers I was brought to. Yet, I only now am really learning how truly important those 5 things are.
Through preparation, through appropriate thoughtfulness and thinking, we can learn to untie the typical knots between our ears that drive us into underachievement and underperformance. And lo and behold, we can learn, I think, to fulfill our God-given potentials.
Gary has the innate ability to make people not only better players, but better people. The life lessons they learn from Gary are incredible.
You can always remember leaving that rink knowing as a player I got better or I had something to improve on to get better. And I think that's what you excelled on as a coach, is giving us the knowledge to know what we needed to do to get better.
There's coaches who know the game, but can you communicate and create passion in your kids and in your players? And Gary's able to do that.
Gary's got great knowledge and the great hands, but more importantly, his ability to connect with people and care for them. His communication skills, to me, really stand out and separate him, and that's why he's one of the best, in the world.
Gary's a legend. He's a special, special man.
The Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from the Casa D18 Studios.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this installment of Renegade of Wrestling. I am your host, JJ Williams, back from a temporary hiatus because, well, I just didn't have the finances to go any shows until recently. Yes, this past weekend on Sunday, Mach 1 Wrestling was back. They presented a double-header entitled Double Down, which I was able to attend. Big shout out to John Ian, Angelo Trinidad, and the rest of the Mach 1 guys for finally bringing it back and giving the people what they want. John Laurinaitis, you want to know about people power, do some research into Mach 1, because they actually gave a show to the fans when they weren't actually even ready to reopen doors yet. They said, talk all around the locker room was, we were doing this because we keep getting asked to do a show. So they gave people what they wanted. Now, in any event, some of these guys I'm going to name off, you're not going to know who they are unless you watch NWA Championship Wrestling from Hollywood every Sunday morning at 1 a.m. on KDOC or on NWAHollywood.com when they put the episodes up on Wednesday. So please bear with me. Do some research. Look these guys up on YouTube and check out some of their matches, because I wouldn't be talking about them if they weren't worth talking about. For the first show, the 2 o'clock show, Ridiculously Big defeated the tag team of Angel, Lopez and Luis Tapia. All good buddies of ours. It was a really good, solid opening matchup. Jonathan Suave came out afterwards and issued an open challenge to anyone in the locker room. I've got these nifty Legend of Zelda tights on, and nobody's going to be able to step up to the challenge. And Mach 1 fan favorite, the chef, came from behind the curtain, cupcakes and all for all the kids, and whooped on Suave like he stole something. Suave's former tag team partner, Eric Cross, came out afterwards and defeated the Mach 1 debuting, I believe, Angel Santos. I had never seen this guy before. He put on a strong showing, though. Everybody seemed to be into him, but Cross, the dastardly heel that he is, was able to pick up the cheap victory over Angel Santos. Then we had a promo from a guy that I was sitting there scratching my head like, why is this dude taking up TV time? Guy called himself the Ultimate Smash and Crasher. He's basically doing an Ultimate Warrior-esque type gimmick with a ski mask on. Stu Stone came out and interrupted him. Just talking trash about him. Who are you? What are you doing in my ring? Type of thing. Brought out his best friend James Morgan, who of course part of the Family Stone with NWA Hollywood. Like I said, you won't know who some of these guys are unless you have actually watched the show, and I recommend that you do so because the Family Stone are really hot over there right now. They basically embarrass Smash and Crasher, making him do warrior-esque type of poses and shaking the ropes and everything. Andrew Hellman came out and blindsided Morgan, coming to the defense of the Smash and Crasher, and we had an impromptu matchup between Andrew Hellman and James Morgan, which James Morgan won. Again, dastardly deeds aplenty. It's never going to be a clean match when you have Stu Stone out there, I'm just saying. Fresh to Death, the team of Leo Blaze and Josh Rose defeated Anchors Away. Brian Weston defeated Todd Chandler in the main event. Todd Chandler, of course, was one half of Young Hollywood over at NWA, who've recently split up within the past few months. And your main event was Jarek Matthews, the Mach 1 heavyweight champion, defeating Kyle Webb to retain the championship belt. I would say out of all these matches, Weston versus Chandler was probably match of the show. The fact that Brian Weston, who at the end of the day, no disrespect to him, is a nobody, and he beat Todd Chandler, who's an established star on the NWA Hollywood show, completely blew my mind. And thumbs up to Todd for being willing to put Brian Weston over and give him that elevation that he needed within the company. And we had a couple hour intermission where, the guys BS'd, went grabbed some grub and everything, came back at 6 o'clock for the second half of Double Down, in which Todd Chandler went ahead and he defeated Luis Tapia in the opening match of the second show. Angel Lopez defeated Jonathan Suave and Brian Weston in a triple threat match. It's a really good spot where Suave hooked up Brian Weston for the sliced bread, ran up Angel, flipped, and dropped it on him. It was a really cool spot. Another triple threat, this time a triple threat tag team match. Anchors Away defeated Fresh to Death and Ridiculously Big. A really, really spot-heavy match. They almost did the Tower of Doom to Biggie Biggs, and that probably would have shattered the ring, which is probably why they went ahead and didn't do the spot. But really good match. The Family Stone came out again and cut a promo about how at the end of the night, James Morgan was going to leave the 3-time Mach 1 heavyweight champion. Angel Santos and Eric Cross had a rematch, and Angel Santos got the upper hand this time and defeated the Crafty Cross. Like what I did there? That was good, huh? Yeah. Kyle Webb the man who lost in the main event of the first show, defeated the Chef. Jarek Matthews and James Morgan, main event. Jarek Matthews was able to defeat James Morgan and retain the title once again. Post-match, Stu and James started laying a beat down onto Jarek. Andrew Hellman came running out from the back for the save, chased away the Family Stone, grabbed the microphone, and then basically just told Jarek that I'm not doing this to help you. I'm just doing this because I've got unfinished business with James. And then he turned his attention further to Jarek, saying, if you were truly a fighting champion, you'd look at the referee, give him the belt, and we'd have a match for the championship right here and now. Jarek Matthews defeated Andrew Hellman to retain the title, his third match in one day. All successful title defenses, all conclusive, no collusion, no cheap tactics, decisive victories over all three opponents. Curious to see where they're going to go as far as contenders now for Jarek, because the main guys he just defeated in one day. Perhaps Willie Mack, perhaps Eric Watts, perhaps Mikey O'Shea get a title shot. So it'll be interesting to see where they go from here. Mach 1 will be back running another show May 18th in Fountain Valley. Be on the lookout on the Mach 1 Facebook for that. I believe it's facebook.com/M1 Wrestling. I could be wrong. Just run a search for it. You'll find them easy enough. So that is the Renegade of Wrestling for this week. I might actually be bringing you a second episode this week. Shocker, I know. Because we got Battleground Pro Wrestling this Saturday, April 28th. American Legion Post number 716, Los Alamitos, California. We also have Apex Pro this Sunday in Huntington Park, debuting company. So we got 2 shows this weekend, but if everything goes the way I'd like, perhaps Jeff and I will be back on either a special Renegade or a special Dads, kind of doing a little hype build-up for Battleground like we did last month. So be on the lookout for all that. Be on the lookout for RSI tomorrow, Topical Week. Be on the lookout for Dad's predictions from hopefully Long Beach Clothing Company. Stat Boy Rants predictions. Don't know if that'll be at Long Beach Clothing or if that'll be from the lovely Casa D18 Studios here in sunny Southern California. But lots of content coming on the channel this week. Be on the lookout for it. For Renegade of Wrestling, I am the Renegade of Wrestling, J.J. Williams, and I will see you next time.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from the Casa D18 Studios.
Ready.
What's cracking? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and the rest of y'all. This is Chicks on Wrestling, the Survivor Series results show. I am your wonderful, talented, sweet hostess, Pinky, and this is
the lame Jade Hogan, because I still don't have a really good intro.
Sheesh.
I can't get a good intro, I don't know why.
I'm gonna leave the following comments in myself.
Well, I'm not as creative as you, that's why. She's the creative one, I'm just the boring one.
On that note.
Right? You can say it's true.
Now, when I say it's true as damn true. I would not say that.
I'm still funny, though.
Yeah.
I was cracking her up.
Oh, she had me on the floor rolling. Right? Yeah. Question. Will CM Punk retain his title? Should Punk be allowed to wear the belt after his disrespectful, despicable, disgusting, and disparaging actions this past Monday towards Jerry the King Lawler? Let's get to the results, shall we?
Alright.
Sure.
That's actually a good intro to it.
Thank you.
I like
I know. I wrote it. The pre-show.
It's in your writing.
I know. I have pretty handwriting. Shut up. The pre-show was 3MB, the three-man rock band consisting of Jinder Mahal, Heath Slater, the Wendy's girl, and your boo-boo. I can't say it like Boss Man can. Boss Man, can we? Aw. Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre.
She tried it. It was cute. She gets an A for
I did
effort.
the Drew. Very good. I just couldn't do the McIntyre.
I can't roll my R's.
I can't do the McIntyre at all.
Whatever. Versus the Cobra, Santino Marella, and Zack Ryder. Okay. 3MB wins. Yay. We're done. On to the show.
I didn't even put that.
I got it. Don't trip. I got it. On to the show. The following was not trending worldwide on Twitter. Sin Cara and there's something else that wasn't trending. I can't remember who, but definitely wasn't Sin Cara. So Vince McMahon, the rest of y'all dingbats at the commentating booth, JBL, Josh, you lie like a rug. Sin Cara was not trending. Why the hell he be trending again? Considering tonight was the American Music Awards, why would Sin Cara be trending, not AMAs? I'm just saying.
Why would wrestling?
Well, because it was Survivor Series. That's why.
Yeah, but still, no one.
It's Survivor Series.
No one in the world usually seems to care.
But it's Survivor Series.
We care.
Hashtag.
No one else does.
Hashtag we care.
How much airtime does wrestling get?
A lot.
Any news, really?
Unless somebody then died or went to jail.
Exactly.
Or Vince McMahon beat the government again. Or Linda McMahon lost the, Senate seat again.
It has to do with the law before wrestling gets any airtime.
That's really bad. Dang. It's the law.
Yeah.
It's the law. That's
right.
Anywho, our first of two Survivor Series traditional matches, Brodus Clay, Justin Gabriel, Tyson Kidd, Sin Cara, and Rey Mysterio versus Tenzai, Epico, Primo, and
Means it does. Means it does. Means it does.
Okay, shut up. I hope you guys are really happy now. Boss Man's raised roof. He's actually happy because I don't like doing that. Versus the primetime players. The team of Brodus Clay, Justin, Tyson, Sin Cara, and Rey Mysterio won.
Yeah.
That was actually a pretty decent match.
I don't remember who I actually picked.
That wasn't announced until
then I didn't pick anybody.
Exactly. We didn't pick anybody because it wasn't like on the card until
I picked the team that won.
And the team that won was Brodus Clay and the rest and Brodus Clay and them. Somebody call my mom. Okay. Anyway. The Divas title. Caitlyn versus Eve.
Caitlyn actually showed off some really good moves tonight, though. I was impressed with her.
Caitlyn always has good moves. Yes, she does.
I have to stop you on that one because not really.
Not really?
There's been several matches that I'm like, really?
Yes.
And you're trying to get the title? Really?
Because, dear.
And I love Caitlyn.
Because they still have the Husky. That's why. You must give her some credit. They still have the Husky.
I love Caitlyn. But I haven't really seen her showcase her abilities until tonight.
Well, considering
tonight she rocked it. I was like, wow.
She actually showed why she should be the Divas champion.
I saw some like serious resemblance
to who?
Lita. To me, it seems like Lita.
Explain, please.
Even Boss Man's like, what the hell are you talking about?
This I gotta hear.
Just the toughness of her, and just the pure punkness.
Lita was tougher.
She was, but that's why I said resemblance. She's not completely.
Okay.
But she's showing a little bit. You know?
Okay.
And I could see if she works a little bit more, her getting to that caliber.
Okay, I see your point. Now, who do you think was underneath that blonde mask that was trying to beat up Caitlyn before her match? We never really got to see that because our
Boss Man was saying he thought it might be Molly.
Oh, because underneath the blonde wig was the dark-haired woman. So
and Molly has dark hair. At least when I saw her last.
Well, last time I seen her, she was brunette, cute.
Yeah.
The Husky.
She was just getting back her hair when I met her.
Right.
So.
And winner, still Divas champion, the Husky of the Millennium, Eve Torres. I said it. Boo. We both picked Caitlyn because it was time for her to win. But no, apparently, dear, she ain't doing what she's supposed to be doing when she's sleeping with her band. So.
I was gonna say blowing the Boss Man.
Maybe. Next match for the United States champion, Antonio Cesaro versus R-Truth. Little side note here, people. Hey, Vince, bring in Cassius. Oh no, Chris Hero. We need some Kings of Wrestling. Kings of Wrestling. We need some Kings of Wrestling to show these, think that's how to do it. Anyway,
seriously.
Antonio Double C, Claudia Castagnoli kicked ass tonight. That match was utterly fantastic.
That was a banging match.
And was that uppercut in the middle of the match sick or what?
I was like, oh!
I think he jacked his jaw.
I went, ooh.
I think we all went, ooh.
Even Dylan went, ooh, with that one.
Yeah, that uppercut
was watching and went, oh my god.
That uppercut was badass, Mr. Antonio Cesaro. This is why he should still be United States champion. No offense against R-Truth, because he put on a hell of a performance too, but Antonio Cesaro just made sure to let everybody know why.
That's why it was a banging match. It was, R-Truth and Antonio.
She said banging.
Yeah.
I'm skirt.
Why?
It was a hellified match. Can we be professional? Banging is, never mind.
Hellified is better. Okay.
Hellified is better. Winner and still our United States champion, Antonio Cesaro. I can't say this is this, but you the man. That uppercut was sick. Please do it more often.
Awesome.
Jack more jaws. That was beautiful.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, I know. Match number 4 that really should not have been in the middle of the pay-per-view. For the World Heavyweight title, we have the Big Show versus Sheamus. Go ahead, because you You actually enjoyed this one, didn't you? Not necessarily who won, but the after the match ass whooping.
Oh God, yeah.
Explain, please.
Just because Sheamus freaking owned Big Show with that whooping.
Yeah, that whooping was sick.
And we saw some familiar faces.
Did we or
come
did
in?
we not see some familiar
At least one.
faces? Do share.
I don't remember all of them, but I know one of them.
Go ahead. Share.
I'm gonna totally forget his name now. Tyler Bateman?
Tyler Black, Seth Rollins. That was towards the end of the night.
I don't remember his name.
That was Seth Rollins, and that was in the last match.
That was in his match
No,
because
it
that
was
was yeah.
No, it wasn't. Sheamus bro kicked the referee. Hold on. Sheamus bro kicked. Well, actually, this match was really, really good from bell to bell. I actually enjoyed this one.
Seriously,
you really are that tired. You got everybody mixed up. You got mofos coming in mixed up from mofos coming in mixed up. Sheamus bro kicks the referee. Thanks to Big Show bringing in poor Scott Armstrong in the way of a bro kick. As Sheamus goes down to check on the referee. Here comes every referee in the back to check on, Scott Armstrong, bless his heart. And what does the Big Show do? He cold cocks it.
Makes me grout. That's what he did.
He cold cocks Sheamus for no apparent good reason. Why? Why? You ignorant some bitch. Why?
Because he thinks he's a freaking what's it called?
What? Brawler?
Yeah.
Ground and pound? What?
Well, I was just thinking fighter.
Whatever. The only reason why
fighting.
Whatever. What? UFC? MMA?
Thank you.
The only reason why Big Show is even using the WMD weapons of max destruction, which should be otherwise entitled to me. No. Because Floyd Mayweather Jr. beat that ass at WrestleMania 25. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, and knocked him out. Well, it wasn't stupid because Big Show got knocked the hell out again and made a fool out of again. So, so he cold cocked Sheamus. Sheamus wins by disqualification. Everybody was checking on the referee. Big Show, what were you thinking? You think you're just gonna sneak away, you big mofo? I think not. This is what you call an ass whooping. Receipt sent by Sheamus. He beat that ass. Hashtag I care. Hashtag Sheamus rocks. Hashtag Big Sheamus. He took a chair to that ass and wore him out.
Where he was like, please though.
Please, no more. Well, Sheamus threw down the chair and bro kicked him in the face.
He was like crying almost.
Oh my God, he should have been crying because that match was disgusting.
The big man.
Well, there he was crying after a bro kick to the face, I tell you. So, we are calling it Boss Man first, me second. We are calling it next month at TLC chairs match. Sheamus versus the Big Show for the World Heavyweight title.
That'll be fun, but I am not having Dylan watch that. Nope.
No.
No.
We'll explain why later.
He doesn't need to see that.
Exactly. Well, let's just say Sheamus beat the brakes off Big Show. I'm happy. Anyway, we have our premier Survivor Series elimination match. Team Ziggler, consisting of Alberto Del Rio, Damian Sandow, David Otunga replacing Cody Rhodes. Unfortunately, baby got hurt, and I know. It's okay. It's okay, Mama. It's okay. Don't mess up the shirt. It's okay. He just had an MRI done. He'll be alright.
Did you see his face?
Well, honey, I didn't see his face, but I saw the way he fell at main event.
I saw his face after when he was on the ropes, and he was just like, "Ow."
That wasn't an owie. That was a damn ouch. Cause when he got backflip, he took a Ric Flair style. Don't get me wrong, but he landed square on his shoulder. The replays of that were sick.
I went. Oh.
We all went. Ooh. Bless your heart. I don't like you, Cody, but dang, nobody deserves to get jacked up like that. Come back, somebody.
I love you and I miss you and.
Of course you do. Uncle Tunga replaced Cody Rhodes. And Wade Barrett and the team captain, Dolph Ziggler versus Team Foley, consisting of Kane, Dave Bryan, Kofi Kingston, The Miz, and Randy Orton. Okay, we might as well go ahead and give you the damn results now. Team Ziggler wins. I am PO'd.
See?
The one person who survives every year. Shut up. The one person that survived 3 years running, 2003, 4, and 5, Randy Orton, was the last person to get eliminated. And this match was absolutely kick-ass from beginning to end. I will say that.
It was a really good match.
It was a really good match.
It was a really good
Dolph
match.
Ziggler finally was able to shine. Finally.
Really? Like, seriously? He was really good.
And for Dolph Ziggler to get the deciding pinfall on Randy Orton, who's always been known as a sole survivor.
Seriously, I was like totally expecting Randy to win as soon as like, I saw it was Randy and Ziggler.
Like,
and I'm like, huh?
Like, yay! And Dolph wins.
Yeah, we both pouted, but it was like, wow. We were on the edge of our seats. I was on the edge of my wheelchair.
I was just actually staring intently at the screen like, yay, Randy! No. I took off my earphones, threw them down, and turned my back. I pouted for a good 7 minutes. I was pissed because I wanted my Randy to win, but that's all right. That lets me know a couple things. Randy doesn't play well with others. The Miz.
You didn't know this? Come on.
Come on, please.
Being a fan of Randy, you didn't know this.
Of course I knew this. But it was nice to see The Miz get a chance to shine too. The Miz was actually playing cheerleader, if you realize that, when Randy Orton was in the ring getting beat up.
Watching him.
Oh my God!
Everybody else.
That is horrible. Really? No. Miz, Mike Mizanin, you are awesome.
To some people.
Nobody asked you. You're awesome. It's the simple fact that The Miz finally got a chance to shine.
Ask me below, please. Just so she can stop saying nobody
asked me.
I'll tell you my real opinion about it.
Nobody asked her, because I'll give you the same opinion. She don't care for him. But I will tell you this. The Miz put on the show tonight. That was fantastic. I love The Miz. And for all of y'all Misfits who decide to jump on a bandwagon now that he's faced, hashtag Johnny Come Latelys. Y'all late. Y'all been late since 04. Y'all been late since Real World. So, what's been taking y'all so long?
I have a comment though about that.
Oh, here we go. So.
And Boss Man can concur.
So.
I am known for jumping on that wagon when somebody turns face. Because I love the faces usually. Am I jumping on that bandwagon? No, can't talk.
That's not my fault. You just hate The Miz because you just hate The Miz. You go ahead and hate The Miz if you want to. I'm driving the Misfits around here.
I'm just saying I'm growing up because I'm not jumping on no bandwagon just because he turned face.
Yeah, but you sure voted for the other team who didn't have The Miz on there to win. Which unfortunate teams are going to win. But Dolph.
I chose right.
No. You chose right for the wrong reasons. How about that? You chose right for the wrong reasons. I chose what I chose for my own personal reasons. I love both teams. I really couldn't choose, so I just figured, what the hell, Team Foley. And then, Dolph wins. Dolph, you show off. You show off. You heel Ziggler. I love you. Hashtag show off.
Good job.
Anyway, the triple threat match, CM Punk versus John Cena versus Ryback. Punk retains the title in the most auspicious of fashions. A bunch of dudes, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Tyler Black.
Okay, now I remember this.
Dumbass. I can't remember the last guy because I really didn't see you, but I saw our two boys. Comes in, beats up Ryback. CM Punk wins, therefore becoming a title holder for 365
days. Go for him.
No, excuse me. I went for John Cena. At least I'm keeping it real.
I did.
So what? Nobody asked you. I went for John Cena for my own personal. I went for my own personal reasons, but at least CM Punk won. He's now the best in the world. He is the best in the world at being world champion for 365 days. As of midnight tonight, it will be 365 days. Go Punk.
Good job.
Kick ass, and let's keep that title until Rumble.
That would be really cool.
That would be beautiful. Anyway, kids, this has been Chicks on Wrestling, the Survivor Series result show. I'm tired. That's why I'm wired on voluntary passing.
I'm rubbing off on her because I've been doing that for the last 3 days.
Never. I am Pinky. This is Jade. This has been Chicks on Wrestling. Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com, Chicks on Wrestling. We'll check you later.
Later.
Ready.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
You ever wanted to come into a sports bar where the barkeeps know their game? Well, the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media has got a production just for you. Sit down and relax as the stat boy and his partner break down the statistics in all things sports. Whether it's football, basketball, motorsports, baseball, hockey, soccer, professional wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing, and much, much more. All are welcome. Your barkeeps here keep you up to date and in the know of everything going on in sports, while also having a pleasant conversation about it all. Your host and owner of the bar, Stat Boy Mike. His partner in crime, Dory Lou. And a host of other guests coming in. The food's hot, the seats are warm, the drinks are ice cold, and the sports talk is plentiful. Casa D18 Studios presents Stat Boy Sports Bar. Take a bar stool and enjoy the show. The Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from the Casa D18 Studios.
internet fans, we're here with another episode of Stat Boy Rants. This is episode number 42, and if you see the surroundings, we're at the Long Beach Clothing Company, 4218 Atlantic Avenue, Long Beach, California, where you can get all this cool stuff. I only have one shirt, so guys, I'm going to be doing some shopping here. This apparently is my prediction show for Extreme Rules 2012, taking place this Sunday on pay-per-view. We have 6 great matches. We're just going to walk right into it and touch on some stuff. In a pre-show semi-dark match, I believe it's going to be on YouTube, on the WWE Fan Nation channel. The US title match is going to be against Santino and The Miz. Really? 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 Why are you putting a title match on as a free preview? That sucks. Put a tag team match with Santino and Punkosaurus against Dolph and Jack. That would be a better match to see. This match is for the title. And besides, do you really want to hear The Miz? I am the US champion because I'm The Miz and I'm awesome. Yet here come the haters. But you did it on Facebook, or you did it on YouTube. What's the matter? The Miz isn't good enough to put him on a. I would rather spend $30 to see The Miz than have to see him for free. Put some money in The Miz's pocket. And I get Santino the joke. I get that. He's funny. He's comedy. Okay, on the YouTube, as he would say on his show. But I mean, whatever. Santino's been the champ for 51 days. He's had a good run with it. If he keeps it past the pay-per-view, he'll be a 60-day champion after a week or so. He hasn't really had that many major defenses that I can think of. So maybe put the title on The Miz and make it a legit title again. Santino, I love you, but The Miz gets the belt on YouTube. It'll get lots of hits. Alright. In a match with a stipulation that has not been decided yet, as far as I don't know, the Big Show puts up the IC title against Cody Rhodes. Big Show's only held the belt for 25 days since WrestleMania, and honestly, you know, give the title back to Cody. Big Show does not need that belt. He's good with what he's doing. We don't even know what the stipulation is going to be. It could be anything. I wouldn't be surprised if Cody tried the whole one arm tied behind the back thing, or tie Big Show's legs together, or put him in handcuffs, or put him in a straitjacket, or bash him with a chair until he gets knocked out, which, let's face it, the Big Show takes forever to do that anyway, and all Big Show does is one weapon of mass destruction and Cody's down on the ground. Big Show, you're cool and all that, but sorry, the title needs to go back to Cody Rhodes. In a Falls Count Anywhere match, Randy Orton and Kane continue their storyline. Kudos to Paul Bearer. He came back. He got locked away in the deep freeze, but so I guess you can really say that Paul Bearer's career is literally on ice. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Yeah. Paul Bearer's career is so dead that he hasn't turned cold yet. Oh. You know, why not? Bad jokes, okay, whatever. In fact, put some jokes in the comment box about Paul Bearer's career and being cold, just so I can get a laugh out of it. Remember, this is Falls Count Anywhere, so you know they can go in the concession stands, they can go in the fans, they can go in the locker room, they can go outside the arena. I hope it just better be brutal. That's all I want. I mean, I don't want this PG watered down garbage. I want a full-on kick-ass style match. Alright? Kane won at WrestleMania, so it's Randy's turn to win. My pick is Randy Orton by Google. For the WWE Championship, in a Chicago street fight, CM Punk versus Chris Jericho. Punk has held the belt for 158 days, and I don't see him losing it anytime soon. So, what happens in a Chicago street fight? Basically, you hit your opponent with everything but the kitchen sink, unless your name is Ron Simmons. Oh, too soon. You remember that match way back in the day? That was a Chicago street fight. In fact, if you remember it, it was, wait for it, who was it? Ahmed Johnson and the Legion of Doom against the Nation of Domination. And literally, the kitchen sink actually got used, and I think that's where Farouk got injured. Or one of them got injured. It was a pretty bad kidney injury. The whole drinking storyline should be coming to an end. Punk did a great job of acting drunk on Raw, and he actually did the alphabet backwards. If you can do the alphabet backwards sober, you got IQ points. I don't understand why Jericho is still around, though. I haven't read anything. I thought he was going to do Fozzy stuff. And if he's the best in the world, why didn't he win at WrestleMania? Oh.
May I interject something here,
Yes,
Scott?
Renegade, go ahead.
Here we go.
Hi, Renegade. Welcome to Long Beach Clothing Company.
Welcome. Thank you for the welcome.
42 and 18 Atlantic Avenue.
That's right. The reason that Jericho hasn't gone anywhere yet, from everything I've read, is that he signed a contract extension through the summer. That's why he's still around.
Thank you. Breaking news. Summer extension.
Not breaking. About a month old.
Oh.
If you were really, truly Stat Boy, you'd know that by now.
Busting his balls on his own show. Damn.
Boom! And you wonder why I'm more popular than you. Oh!
I'm gonna check the stats on that right now.
I'm
the most popular of all!
Wow, even when we're on location, my show goes to shit. Okay. 2 out of 3.
But at least you can say that it goes to shit because the kid's not around.
Yeah, really.
That's right.
2 out of 3.
Zone.
No. Okay. Shut up.
Sorry.
2 out of 3 falls. Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan. This whole yes thing, I get that Daniel Bryan is a heel, so is yes the new what? It won't die. When it comes to 2 out of 3 falls, I like to give it to the more technically sound wrestler, and that would be Daniel Bryan. Sheamus has held the belt 25 days also, but he hasn't done anything with it yet. At least Daniel Bryan did something with the title when he held it all those years, and he needs redemption from WrestleMania. Therefore, my pick is Daniel Bryan. I'd like to see it go 3 falls, but if Daniel wins 2 straight, more power to that. Going back on the street fight, of course I said I want Punk to win, just to clarify that. And finally, Cena versus Brock in an Extreme Rules match. Brock just came back, and like I say, I am really worried about Cena's well-being in this match. A lot of people are, you don't bring in a big name like that to have him lose in his first match back. That's just a slap in the face. Unless you're fighting Frank Mir. Oh, not too soon. In fact, Frank Mir gets a title shot at UFC 146. What happened, Alistair Overeem? Pre-fight drug test failed. Anyway, had to give my little UFC shout out there. Like I say, if Cena wins, it's going to be a hell of a shock. He needs to protect himself at all times, like a good fighter does. Otherwise, Brock is going to kill him. Let the chant begin. Brock's gonna kill you. And, if he feeds off of all that anger, that's like, I can't remember the comic book reference, but it was on Heroes too, but there was a guy that just fed off of fear and he got stronger and stronger and stronger. If you put that guy in Brock's body with all the oh my God, if you want to see someone get decapitated off of fear, look at Brock Lesnar, because he'll just, and your head flies off, You'd make a great comic book character, Brock Lesnar would. Yes? Here we go again. Yes, Renegade?
Brock Lesnar was already a comic book character. The Incredible Hulk. Brock Smash!
Avengers, May 4th.
That's plugged.
So, hey, whatever. So, as I really want Cena to win, but I am really worried. So, now if Cena decides to take off a couple weeks and let Brock do his thing, and maybe, and have him come, and then who knows, whatever. Cena, just be careful out there. here's another question. If two guys supposedly hate each other so much, like Rock and Cena, or now Brock and Cena, okay? How can they legitimately work together? Because you know... Oh, Mr. Meacham has the answer to that question.
I'm going to come on camera. It's okay.
No?
The same reason the Bischoff and Flair can work together in TNA.
Which is? The business?
Business.
The business.
Business. It's strictly business.
I don't like people. I work with them all the time.
Yeah.
How I do it, I have no idea. So,
make that green, baby. That's why.
In review, I want Miz, Rhodes, Orton, Punk, Bryan, and sadly, Brock is going to win. If Cena pulls off the victory, then Vince is doing something to make more green. Where you can spend that green here at the Long Beach Clothing Company, 4218 Atlantic Avenue. You guys got 3 plugs in one show. And this is my first time here actually filming. You know, I never really got the chance to do it. So let me say thank you to Long Beach Clothing Company. You guys rock. You know, come on down here. Get all the swag you can and represent Long Beach. Episode 42 is done. Watch the pay-per-view on Sunday. We'll be at Battleground on Saturday. Stat Boy out.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
The Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from the Casa D18 Studios.
This is James Morgan, NWA and Mach 1 Wrestling Superstar.
This is Chris Masters, the Masterpiece.
This is Downtown Bruno. This is Eric Watts from WWE Tough Enough.
Mikey Nova.
Hey, what's up? This your boy, Sean Black.
This is Jess Bella from Santino Brothers.
Gorgeous Joey Chaos.
Yo, monkeys, it's me, DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, and you are watching Dads on Wrestling.
The Dads on Wrestling.
Dads on Wrestling.
Dads on Wrestling.
On YouTube.
This week on YouTube.
On YouTube.
On YouTube.
On YouTube. Now stay tuned or you will feel the bang!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 42 of Dad's on Wrestling. I am the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams, and this is a very pissed off Ginger.
Ginger rage up in here.
Jeff, why don't you go ahead and start us off? Tell us why you're so pissed off.
Okay, alright.
Just to preface, Raw just ended on the West Coast as we're filming this, okay?
And
not the 6 to 8 East Coast feed that all you satellite people and all that stuff get. No.
Fucking
We
tired.
had to wait till the 9 to 11 feed, so Raw just went off the air as we're rolling this.
Alright. I purposely stayed off Twitter and Facebook for 5 hours.
He was a good little
Jimmy. Although I was tweeting during the West Coast Raw and getting answers back. Didn't you already see this? No, morons. I didn't see this. I'm finding this out as y'all are. They take away the GM position from Bret Hart. And they put a goddamn computer in front of the show.
Yeah.
It's charge of the show. Computer gets pushed to the back burner because Vince loses control of everything. Vince gets fired. Vince gets fired as day-to-day. He's no longer in charge of the company. He's still the chairman of the board. He still sits on the board going, but he doesn't run the day-to-day.
Yeah.
Okay. Triple H is put in that charge. He's doing that now. So, chaos, randomness, all kinds of shit going down.
Yes.
So we closed last week with a walkout, which you pointed out, the NBA's locked out. And somebody else pointed to me, Wall Street's in lockout right now. Doesn't WWE always try to go where society's going?
Yeah.
Okay, just think about that for a minute.
I just want to throw in, it pissed me off that I didn't think about this until Vince McMahon was in the ring tonight.
Yeah, oh yeah, and all of a sudden, Triple H walks out there. He says, I got the, I'm going to be here. I don't care if I can do everything myself. So Triple H proceeds to take his blazer off, which is worn by CM Punk, doing awesome commentary, by the way.
Yeah. Better than half the commentators they have.
Yeah.
We're looking at you, Josh Matthews, Todd Grisham, Michael Cole, and Booker T.
Exactly. Thank you for saying that rather than having me be pissed off Ginger at them, because all four of them can go fuck themselves. Sorry, Booker. Love you. You're awesome in Vegas, but you suck. You suck. Okay. So, Triple H, SCOO, orders a match.
I think you just mad, dog, because you ain't in my Fave 5, sucker.
I don't care if you're my Fave 50. I'm not going to use the word again, because I got told for that again. Because of RSI the other day. Alright. In the middle of what should be a really good match between John Cena and Sheamus, because they've always had great matches.
Yeah.
No chance in hell hits.
Yeah.
And here the fuck comes Mr. McMahon. The fuck is he doing? He should be sitting in his PJs in Connecticut going, this is still my show. I'm still making money off this. And he's at Raw. Okay, we all know the real story. He's really behind the curtain on the gorilla position, whatever, but we didn't see anybody when Triple H walked in the ring. Nobody back there.
Yeah.
What the fuck is he doing there? And he proceeds to relieve Triple H of his duties. If you're not running the company, how can you fire somebody? If you're not in charge of the company, how can you fire somebody?
Unless they forgot to mention that they reinstated him earlier today so that he could make that kind of decision.
I didn't see this until I was on .com.
I'm trying to find little loopholes here.
Yeah, I appreciate you trying to play devil's advocate, but right now, The only thing
if I don't play devil's advocate, you're not going to hear my voice much this episode.
I apologize for that, Jake. I know this is Dad's.
I got to throw out there a little bit.
I know this is Dad's, and it's more Dad. I'm sorry. But Vince fires Triple H.
Yes.
The first question that comes to mind is, okay, is Triple H not in charge of Raw anymore? Or not in charge of WWE anymore? That's a question that's still left unanswered at 11:05 Eastern, Western, fucking Central Mountain Time. No idea what the hell's going on there. Then Vince goes, okay, I need to bring somebody that's unbiased, somebody that has good moral values and good ethics. We're thinking Mick Foley, we're thinking anybody else except the guy who got his big break in the NWA being a goddamn flag bearer for the Bushwhackers. Seriously. John Laurinaitis got his start in the NWA before he was teamed as the Dynamic Dudes with Shane Douglas, who actually has a fucking clue about the business, as a goddamn valet flag bearer for the Sheep Herders, who later became the Bushwhackers. Didn't do shit since. Is hired as WCW's talent relations, which basically he was doing JR's job in the other company, and then when Vince Russo had his 25th walkout, they put Johnny Ace in charge of booking. In the last few months of WCW booking. How did that go? How was that presented? Oh, that's right. The company died. A horrible, agonizing, slow, painful death under a bunch of people who didn't know what the fuck they were doing, and somehow Johnny Ace is supposed to be the savior.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Then he comes to WWE as JR's assistant.
Mm-hmm.
JR gets fired for the 9,000th time, or steps down as talent relations guy, and they put Johnny Ace in charge.
Actually, I think it was the 8,999th time because
Tonight was
9,000 was tonight.
Tonight was 9,000. That's his first thing as the interim. If you're interim, who the hell's going to be the permanent replacement? Are we going to please bring back McFoley, like we've been talking about for a year? Please bring back McFoley. Please, please, please bring back McFoley and have the first act as GM to freaking mandible claw his stupid ass.
And you called it from a mile away as soon as Triple H was relieved of his duties. You said, they're in Oklahoma. I'll bet you anything JR gets fired tonight.
And the worst part about it is, we now have the return of the idiot Michael Cole. How long have I been praising Michael Cole lately?
Usually only during Divas matches, but you have been praising him for a minute.
Yeah, I've been on the side of his rationale compared to Josh Matthews and Booker T on Thursday. God, I went back a minute.
Right.
On Friday nights. On Mondays, whatever. He could be gone, JR and the King could do it. But no, they gotta fire JR. Again! Then he books the main event for Vengeance. Alberto Del Rio, the WWE Champion, which he should be in all main events. He's the WWE Champion. Against not CM Punk, not Cody Rhodes, who's not even on the show, not any of these other guys. Has to be John Cena. And I'm going to catch major flack from a good buddy, but god fucking damn it, again with Cena in the title match.
Yeah.
And if he wins, I predicted this at Hell in a Cell. I'm going to say it again. If John Cena wins back the championship in 2 weeks, I am not watching WWE. Because you know they're going to have champion on both shows, especially if John's the champion. They're going to have him on SmackDown too, just to poison our hearts and our eyes a few minutes more each week.
Yeah.
There will be no Jeff Meacham watching WWE. TNA, I am going to watch till at least Sunday.
Yeah. Which, by the way, there will be another Dads this week where we're actually going to do Bound for Glory predictions.
We've actually watched this damn pay-per-view. We might actually watch this pay-per-view.
I've actually created a private event page for this.
All right.
We are committed to Bound for Glory.
All right, and if people come over, we may actually order it too. We'll see what happens. But seriously, they put a guy who used to valley for the goddamn Bushwhackers in charge of the flagship show of the company.
But correct me if I'm wrong, this guy's only true claim to fame is the Stone Cold Stunner.
Yes.
Only the Ace Crusher.
Yes. Yes. The one.
So aside from that, he's done jack shit for the business.
He is a great big lump. I tweeted him tonight. I don't know why, but I did. I haven't got an answer. No surprise there. I have another story to tell you in a minute. All we've been hearing about the last 2 weeks is how whoever's in charge of Raw works for not Vince McMahon, not for the superstars, the divas, but for us.
Yes,
the universe.
WWE universe.
What in the whose fucking brain came up with the fact that we want to have Johnny Ace running our show?
Not mine.
What sick, perverted mind outside of somebody like Wes Craven or Alfred Hitchcock would come up with that shit? Seriously. Stephen King maybe. That's a sick fuck.
Because he is a Northeasterner, too.
It's all Stephen King's fault. He wants us all to float. That's what's going on. I'm so mad, Jay. I'm so mad.
The one thing that Johnny Ass did do right tonight,
I know,
was reinstate R-Truth and The Miz. The Awesome Truth. And then gave them a match at Vengeance also against CM Punk and Triple H.
Who came at the end of the night in a Triple H black t-shirt and jeans. Like, okay, now we got the old Triple H back, which is fine. I didn't like...
remember, CM Punk didn't like the new him. He wanted the old one. H. Well, Punk has got him. And at least for the time being, they are on the same page.
Once again, Punk gets what he wants.
Except for WWE ice cream bars.
But you like the thing on Facebook where if we get 1 million likes, they're coming back. So
I don't know if that's a legit page or not, but you know.
Better be. Because right now, go to JJ's page on Facebook, JJ Williams Wrestling.
Yes.
Okay. Go to his Facebook, look under his likes. Find that page and like the shit out of it. Please. I want to go to the goddamn ice cream truck in the summer next year and buy a CM Punk ice cream bar.
Yeah.
And it's not a CM Punk.
While wearing my CM Punk ice cream bar t-shirt.
That's right. By the way, I gotta give credit where credit is due, and whether they actually had this planned or not, that's all right. That's cool. We got time still. Whether there's credit for it or not, Gary yapped you a hell of a CM Punk ice cream bar.
Yes, you told me this story.
Yeah, and 2 days later, CM Punk's shirt ice cream bar comes out. I'm just saying how shady that is.
Yeah.
And the one that Gary drew was way better. This one on the shirt, granted, we'll buy it CM Punk on the ice cream bar. It's fucking epic. But I may just have Gary's picture superimposed over mine just to have to go with my Johnny Planko shirt.
My little Jimmy shirt.
You got him.
Nobody else has got a little Jimmy shirt.
Nobody. They still haven't made that one yet.
I tried to hand this to that guy that everyone seems to like look up to in the company to wear onto Raw one night, and he turned it down. So.
Of course he did. Of course he did. I've been trying so hard to play the middleman, try to be good when it comes to the WWE, when it comes to John Cena, when it comes to stuff like this. But each and every week they keep handing me crap that makes me just want to fling it across the room like a goddamn monkey. Seriously. Yeah. I'm done with this shit. And I'm telling you right now, I'm done watching WWE. If this shit continues in the next 2 weeks at Vengeance, whether we get the show or not, I will find out.
Yeah.
I am going to watch TNA. I'll watch TNA more if Hogan's gone.
Yeah.
And you heard that from the Hulkamaniac.
Brother!
If it's true, whether he signed a contract extension or not, if the on-air Hulk Hogan goes away, except for being a good guy again, I will watch TNA. If Sting wins a Bout for Glory, I will buy a Sting shirt. That Sting Joker shirt that's like funny as hell. I'll also buy the Hogan Change shirt, because actually change is happening and it's good now.
Yeah.
But for right now, listen to this man next to me. Listen to his words of wisdom. Indie wrestling is where it's at, folk. NWA, Battleground, PWG, Ring of Honor, anything on the East Coast, seriously anything on the East Coast, with the exception of a couple places. And we get a bad rep in here, SoCal, for having shitty wrestling down here. I don't know what the hell y'all are watching. We got some great feds out here, but indie wrestling is where it's at. Start using the hashtag #IWantWrestling. I want good wrestling. And as far as the bimbos go, I want real women's wrestling hashtag.
Hashtag Statboy approved.
Exactly. That one, of course. Because the Divas, of course, had their outing tonight. Beth and Natalia were in the back watching with mean faces. They were upset. They were upset.
I'm sorry, but I saw Beth Phoenix, and all of a sudden I had the 80s song, The Lady in Red, going through my head. It's like, goddamn.
Yeah, and then you had Yelly, and Eve, with Eve getting the pinfall at least, over Tamina and Rosa. When the fuck were Tamina and Rosa ever on Raw?
It's a super show.
It's not supposed to be!
It's a super show.
Stupid! Alright. I'm sorry I took up most of the show. I apologize. But this needed to be said. And I'm upset.
It's all good.
We'll be back.
Just want to throw out there, make sure you guys check out Santino Brothers Week this week on the channel.
Yes.
Statboy Rants is going to be coming up shortly with an epic 9-part rant on the 100 greatest songs of the 2000s.
Which now that we tape this, we'll have to start airing because we kind of went back on our word there. Yeah.
And of course, be on the lookout for another episode this weekend where we give Bound for Glory predictions. We'll see you then.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Gary Hebert, the man, the myth, the legend. I was amazed, and I was looking to become a better skater myself, and I wanted to be like Gary.
When you look at a guy like this, he's one of the most talented people in his profession. He's been given gifts by God.
It can get frustrating at times when you're trying things that, that maybe don't come as quickly to you as other things. And, you never really felt that sense of frustration with Gary. It was always about improvement and positive reinforcement.
Was it really the end? Was that head injury really the end? God has called Gary to continue to be a blessing to others and to be a passionate example.
My name is Gary Hebert, and this is the World Academy of Hockey, otherwise known as the Inside Edge.
I would recommend anybody that have a chance to come to his hockey school. I think it'd be well worth it. It'd be rewarding to all the kids and anyone coaches, from whether it's an adult, a professional player, to a little kid like a mite or a squirt.
Gary, from day one, has been instrumental to my hockey career. I started out as a potential Division III player, and Gary brought me single-handedly through high school and into a top Division I prospect. I owe it all to Gary, the biggest legend on and off ice there's ever been.
Listen, watch, learn, be confident, and have faith. Those are the answers I was brought to. Yet, I only now am really learning how truly important those 5 things are.
Through preparation, through appropriate thoughtfulness and thinking, we can learn to untie the typical knots between our ears that drive us into underachievement and underperformance. And lo and behold, we can learn, I think, to fulfill our God-given potentials.
Gary has the innate ability to make people not only better players, but better people. The life lessons they learn from Gary are incredible.
I can always remember leaving that rink knowing as a player I got better, or I had something to improve on to get better. And I think that's what you excelled on as a coach, is giving us the knowledge to know what we needed to do to get better.
There's coaches who know the game, but can you communicate and create passion in your kids and in your players? And Gary's able to do that.
Gary's got great knowledge and the great hands, but more importantly, his ability to connect with people and care for them. His communication skills, to me, really stand out, separate him, and that's why he's one of the best, in the world.
Gary's a legend. He's a special, special man.
Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from NoDQ.com.
Welcome, NoDQ Galaxy, and we're back with another NoDQ review. I am Virtue, and this is number 42, and I am joined by TJS, the Big G, and Aaron Rift, who looks like he has TJS, myself, and Big G on his shirt.
Yes.
So what's up, Aaron?
Well, we just had Christmas. Everyone's getting back into business mode now. The show must go on. It's time to get back to work. I hope everyone had a great holiday weekend, great Christmas Day, great Christmas Eve, all that wonderful stuff. And Virtue, from my understanding, I know we're getting off topic here, but you partaked in a lot of Christmas Vacation watching. Is that correct?
I watched it over 20 times since November. And it's just coincidentally, AMC is actually playing marathons of all the vacation movies the past week. So when I sit there and play my Nintendo Switch or I think about wrestling, what do I do on the background? Watch movies like that. Because let's be honest, I've been tuning out WWE for the last week. It's a holiday time. You guys are going to have to help me out on this one a little bit.
Lame duck period.
So what about you, Big G? What's up, man?
I enjoyed my Christmas with my girlfriend and her family. I think I watched Christmas Vacation at least 10 times in the past month.
Rookie.
So not as much as you, but 10 times, Other than that, everything else is good. I caught up on Raw and SmackDown earlier today just to see what was going on.
I'm sorry.
And TJS, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing a lot better than I was last week. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to be back, guys. And I wasn't boycotting SmackDown, but I didn't see SmackDown last week. But thankfully, I saw it this week. I saw Raw. I'm ready to do some discussion here. Hope everyone had a great Christmas. Hope you had plenty of ham.
Okay. Well, all right. So you were off last week. Ham, turkey, whatever. It's all good. I'm a honey baked ham guy. TJS, I know you were off last week, and something very similar happened recently to Mauro Ranallo. So why don't you go ahead and start with? You don't have to talk about you and what happened, but Mauro Ranallo, that's crazy. I remember growing up watching wrestling. You didn't hear about stuff like that. But we all know people like that in the entertainment business. They drive a lot, rental cars. Sometimes they just go home to be with their family, and in everyday driving, guess what? You get in car accidents. It looked bad.
Yeah.
It looked bad, but I don't think he's going to miss a beat. So any thoughts on the wrestling traveling and the fact that there isn't more of that type of stuff that happens when you're on the road so much?
Well, I'll just say that usually when, before I was in this accident, I would look at cars on the road and, accidents and whatever, and I would just be really dismissive or just kind of an asshole. But once you're in something like that, it just changes your perspective about this.
Right.
And it looked Mauro's wreck looked really bad too. And I mean, our car was T-boned, and the person ran off. Like, I heard of hit and runs before, but you just never think that thing would happen to you. And once it does, it really, really just it changes you. And I feel bad for Mauro. But the guy, he's very strong. I watched his documentary on Showtime. This guy, despite battling with depression and everything else, he's a trooper, I'll say. And I'm glad that he wasn't hurt, and I'm glad he's okay. Like you said, Virtue, I don't think he's going to miss a beat. I'm just glad that he walked away from it okay, and I'm glad that myself and my girlfriend walked out of the accident that we were in okay. So that's all I have to say about that. Aaron?
So, Aaron, we don't really have to talk about the accident too much because obviously TJS touched on it. What I want to know about Mauro is do any of you guys, and Aaron, I'll start with you, think he'll ever be back on the main roster? I mean, we know he battles depression. We know the bullying with JBL, whatever went on. But do you think if they're really going to shake things up, they know the fans like him, at least the NXT-style fans. What do you think?
Well, first of all, I just wanted to say I agree with TJS and his sentiments about Mauro and the car accident. My only advice to people is to just drive like everyone else doesn't know how to drive. Always be
like
cautious.
Aaron Riff drives.
Yeah.
Very safe.
You just have to be vigilant, and that doesn't mean you're going to avoid an accident. Anything can happen, but I always drive with the idea that somebody's going to do something really stupid because there are a lot of bad drivers out there and a lot of people that probably should not have driver's license that do. So just
that's true.
Everyone out there, be safe. And I've been quite a few, actually. I've been hit from behind a couple of times, and it's not fun. I've had my car almost totaled once, and yeah, it sucks. And fortunately, I was not hurt in any of those accidents. But nonetheless, best wishes to Mauro Ranallo. I don't think we're going to see him on the main roster again. I would be really surprised if we did. I think he's happy just doing his thing in NXT. He's very passionate about the NXT brand, and I think it's just too much workload for him. I think he's happy doing what he's doing right now, a little bit lower profile. He can do his other Showtime gigs and other jobs that are out there, various odds and ends jobs. I think he's happy with the current situation he's in. Big G, any other thoughts you have about Ranallo?
Not really. I mean, you guys all made great points. I mean, I was in an accident myself 2 years ago. Like you said, when you're out there driving, be cautious. Drive like you said, Aaron. Drive like other people don't drive. As far as Morrow being on the main roster, I don't think that's going to happen. Like you said, Aaron, he likes doing what he does, recording NXT all in one night, and then doing his Showtime boxing and other stuff like that. And I mean, there's not much else to say about it. That's all I gotta say.
I think he should be on the main roster.
I agree.
Morrow, if you watch this, you blocked me on Twitter, but if you watch No DQ at all, bro, talk to Triple H, talk to Vince, get on something, at least big pay-per-views, not just NXT.
Why did he block you?
Mainstream people want to see you. I don't know.
Huh.
Like Kevin Owens blocked me too, but I think it's because of my ties to Russo. Tweeting Russo and his clan will get other wrestlers to block you. So, but nonetheless, luckily Morrow's okay.
Yes.
Recently, there has been an ad by WWE for creative positions, writing, and looking at this, they want like 2 years TV experience. Degrees in drama, journalism, all that good stuff. And I get that, right? For my career, you have to be qualified.
Right.
But it's clearly not working for WWE, and it hasn't for a very long time. They need, like you said, Aaron, and I'll start with you on this, they need to be unconventional.
Right.
So hire a statistician. You don't know who might, or interview them. You don't know who might be creative.
Right.
It worked with Vince Russo back in the day. Now, yes, he's gotten a lot of bad traction since, but when they were down and out, Vince McMahon did turn to him. He was writing magazines and creating his own storylines in those magazines to push paper magazines, and it made Vince, what's going on here? And it worked, people.
Yep.
Did it not work? And I'm not saying bring Russo back, but that was unconventional.
Yes.
Can't we have something? So, Aaron, go ahead. You mentioned that word on one of your lives.
Right.
Or one of your, and so go ahead, elaborate on that.
Well, I feel like, it would be beneficial to have somebody with a creative mind writing the shows, coming up with some new ideas, new concepts, something we haven't seen before. The problem is everything is so corporate now, and WWE wants the degree, WWE wants the experience, and the problem with that is you're just going to have somebody who's in a corporate environment, and at the end of the day, if they're answering to Vince, they're only going to have so much power, and you're not going to see much creativity. So whatever's done, I feel the most important thing is that whoever is writing has the opportunity to be more creative and be able to come up with some new ideas, new concepts, experiment. We need experimentation on Monday Night Raw, and the status quo needs to end. We need some change. We just need something. A true shakeup would be letting people come up with some new ideas and try something we haven't seen before. We need more of that.
Big G, it's like when I think of the WWE writing team right now with over 20 people, so we hear. Yeah. I think of an assembly line in a cookie factory like the Elves.
Yeah.
And they're just churning out cookie after cookie, and they're just, they're good, they're yummy, but they get stale after a while. Right. So that was my reference. What do you think? Change?
Yeah, I agree with you big time, Virtue. Like Aaron said, and like you said, they need new creative writers. I did see the ad for them hiring creative writers. But do you think if they do end up hiring these new writers, do you think they would let some of their old writers go?
Well, I mean, chances are Vince likes a lot of yes men, but I mean, I'm sure they can't have too many more. So yeah, they should probably let some people go. I mean, let's face it.
A couple. They should hire like maybe 5. I would see them hiring like 5 new guys and letting 5 other guys go, and hopefully that would make it better and have fresh ideas and better storylines down the road. And TJS, what do you think?
I don't want to see anyone lose their job, but somebody needs to put some fire under the ass of these writers, because it's been the same thing, man. And we're talking about this fresh start or whatever. It doesn't feel like a fresh start. and granted, it is the holiday season.
Right.
These next last week's Raw was taped. The New Year's Eve Raw is going to be taped, so it's obviously not going to be like a great show because we're going to read the spoilers. That's what we do. And I'm just going to say that just because you have a college degree, that doesn't make you creative. It might make you qualified for the job, but that does not make you creative. There are probably people out there that, they couldn't afford an education, so they just stay home and write in their journal or whatever. They get drunk or whatever, write their journal, and those are probably some of the most creative people out there, like Edgar Allan Poe, for instance. I think that, like Aaron said, everything is just so corporate that they want the guy that's in the suit and tie, and they want the yes man, like you
Piece
guys
of paper.
said. Yeah, definitely. I think that maybe instead of like asking for all these qualifications, just have people write like a sample script for a show. Go over the sample script. Whoever writes the best one, hire them. I think that's a better way to do it than just like, okay, you have the degree, you have the experience, yada yada yada. It's a tired formula, and
bring in interns that you don't pay, and then see what they can do, and then all of a sudden, if you find like the next Paul Heyman or Vince Russo, with creative ideas, hey, we're going to hire you. I mean, places do that all the time. Why not WWE?
I'm sure that there are people out there that would write for WWE for free. Yeah. I mean, it's like a dream job for some people, but they can't afford like education and everything. So.
Right. Well, as far as I'm concerned, I would not want to write for WWE just because I value my sanity too much, and I would completely lose my mind, and it's not worth it. To me, it's not worth it. But for some people out there, like you said, they might be willing to commit, basically give up their life and be Vince McMahon's slave boy, doing whatever he says, his butt kisser.
And that's what he likes. Rumor has it, and it's a very hostile work environment because I guess Vince McMahon doesn't even like people being sick. Like if you sneeze, he gets mad at you. You know what I mean? If you come in with the sniffle. So just imagine that work environment. Absolutely insane. Yeah. You know what? He can fire the whole creative writing team because TJS, who cares about people losing their jobs if they're doing bad at it? And he can hire the NoDQ team, But like I said, Aaron wouldn't go. But we'll see. I mean, they got, I've seen those posted before. And it's like, okay, who are you hiring? Because it's not working.
No, it really isn't.
But anyways. I almost liked it more back in the day when the wrestlers had more political influence because at least they'd be protecting their characters and they'd want good stuff to happen, like Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels. And wrestlers are afraid to do that now because they're coming off the NXT assembly line and they're afraid to challenge Vince McMahon. But anyway, moving on. Last week, did we not talk about John Cena and what he would do in 2019? And Santa Claus Vince McMahon. Did he not say you're going to get John Cena in 2019 on Raw and SmackDown?
Yep.
Yeah.
Somebody watches a NoDQ review, maybe not Vince, but some of his yes men. So what do you think they're going to do with him? Is this going to – will Cena – we talked about it last week, but if Vince uses him, is it going to be a lot or is he just saying that now and then Cena's doing movies and this and that and we barely see him like The Rock? Coincidentally, did Cena not just apologize to The Rock about that whole part-time spiel he made fun of The Rock about? Of course, that's probably kayfabe. Cena's promoting Bumblebee, probably wanting to make it, I don't have beef with The Rock because The Rock's big in Hollywood and Cena's trying to get his niche in Hollywood. So I get it. Right. I think that's a worked apology. Nonetheless, Big G, what's your thoughts on 1 week after we bring up Cena, Santa Claus McMahon? Is it going to be sparse? Did he lie to us?
That was a coincidence. It had to be. Like you said, somebody had to be watching our review last week. Anyways, I don't think Cena's gonna be on TV as much. I think he'll be on the first Raw and first SmackDown of the new year, and then we'll possibly see him at the Royal Rumble. I don't know if he's gonna miss it or not. If he's doing another movie, but like I said last week, we don't need John Cena anymore. Give somebody else the big name, the big push, and let them get the name of John Cena and The Rock. Let them, skyrocket, whatever you want to call it. I'll be seeing John Cena on Friday at a house show in Baltimore.
You can't see
I think
him.
on Miss TV, I think it might be. I'm not too sure. And then the whole apology to The Rock.
Wait, you're going to a house show? Which one, Raw or SmackDown?
It's a SmackDown house show.
Well, I see what you did there, Aaron. But I mean, don't they still do them separate? Like Raw does their own house shows and SmackDown.
Yeah.
I see where you went on that, Aaron. The actual TV shows.
They're recording Raw on Friday in Detroit, and then SmackDown they're recording on Saturday in Pennsylvania. So, which is gonna be weird. Like I said, as far as the apology from Cena to Rock, it is what it is. Cena's doing movies now too. Rock's getting bigger, and Cena's just pretty much wants to be the next Rock. That's all I have to say about that.
All right, TJS, man, what do you think? And do you ever remember? You're probably too young for this, but Aaron remembers when they used to do TV tapings for Raw back in the day, and we'd read spoilers. But when you read those spoilers, you're like, I gotta watch. That's how good the TV was back then. So
was TJS even born?
Well, I don't know. Aaron, you can elaborate on that more. But TJS, thoughts on Cena? We got to bring him up again.
You guys heard what Vince called Cena, right? The greatest of all time, John Cena, 2019. Yeah, that's what we're getting, it seems. But the thing is, John Cena's starting another movie on January 20th.
Right.
So I think they're very desperate to boost numbers for him to just show up for like 3 weeks. And then just go off again. Very interesting. And Big G, I think that we do need Cena, man, because before we had Roman Reigns on Raw, and he was about the only guy that had as much star power as John Cena.
Right.
I mean, you've got Brock, but Brock never did. So who on Raw who has that star power that has the Cena or the Roman Reigns star power?
Well, Strowman, but they ruin it.
It's
awful.
Yeah, it's awful because if you show somebody a picture of Braun Strowman, maybe they'll know who he is. If you show them John Cena, they're gonna know. If you show them Hulk Hogan, they're gonna know. If you show them Stone Cold, The Rock, or Roman, they're gonna know. But I don't know. No one has that star power like Cena and Roman do, and maybe John Cena will help have people tune in. Because there's no point in watching Raw if there's no Universal Champion. It's like Virtue said. I think John Cena needs to beat Brock and then pass the torch to someone else. That's about the only thing I can think happens.
Well, I think Cena's going to win that 17th world title. I think it's just a matter of time. Now, is it going to be WrestleMania? I mean, apparently Cena has another movie coming up, but it's very interesting. I feel like, at the very least, it is WWE's way of trying to get some short-term interest in the product and make up for the fact that Roman Reigns is gone, try to fill up that void by having Cena back. But, yeah, my prediction, and it still stands, I think John Cena will win the 17th world title this year, and it is what it is. Some people are going to like it, some people are going to hate it, but I think it's pretty much destined to happen. John Cena will be the 17-time world champion, and then he'll probably go off to Hollywood and phase out his WWE career. Regarding the tapings, I mean, it's just a temporary thing. It's for the holidays, so no big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, back in the day, they would tape 4 episodes of Raw in one night. They would have a whole month worth of Raw in the can, and yeah, it wasn't exactly the best time to be a fan. And WCW started doing the live shows every week, and then WWE had to start changing up their format and doing more and more live shows. I mean, for the holiday period, it really doesn't matter because it's a lame duck period anyways, and I think people would have been just as disappointed with the live show as a tape show at this point. So it doesn't really matter that much. If anything, it was good for me because I was able to post spoilers on the site and get traffic from that, and then actually just watch the YouTube clips and not have to spend 3 hours watching the show. So that was nice for me personally.
Now, you went, well, Aaron, he went like way back when they would tape 4 Raws in one night. After that, when it started getting Attitude Era, they would have a live Raw on a Monday, and then they would, that Tuesday, I think, they would tape the next week's Raw.
Right.
So they didn't have to do the next week live. And then it would be live the Monday after that. I like that format, to be honest with you. Now, of course, they eventually had to go to live every week. But
do the spoilers get a lot of traffic, Aaron?
Yeah, they always did, and I know a lot of people hate the spoilers, but the spoilers definitely get traffic for the site. So even today,
It's not like you're forcing them to click it, so it's not a big deal.
right?
Yeah, and thanks to tapings back in the day, Rick Rude was on Raw and Nitro on the same night. So if you remember that. But all right, let's move on. So Santa McMahon also mentioned a steel cage match with who is it? McIntyre and Ziggler.
Yeah,
Ziggler
on Raw coming up. All right, I ain't even interested in that. Aaron can talk about that during a spoiler or whatever.
Right.
Let's talk about the other announcement. We anticipated this back in the summer when Aaron and I were in Chicago, and Stefan and we debated should WWE bring the women's tag team titles aboard. And I said I kind of disagreed with it unless they had their own show, but they ended up having Evolution, which is just one show a year.
Right.
I would like to see the women evolve. I mean, 205 Live's not doing very well, and you saw how they've condensed that. So what would a female show do on the network? Who knows? But I think if you're going to bring the women's tag team titles aboard, I think you should start considering having at least one weekly show where all the women can compete on it, plus Raw and SmackDown. I don't know, but what's everyone's thoughts with the announcement of the women's tag team titles? Now, do we know if it's a set per show or just one? Is it just going to be one title and they fly? We don't even know yet. A lot of people are speculating Sasha and Bailey could win them, which is kind of too obvious. The Bellas names can get thrown out there, which probably would draw a lot of heat, which might be interesting, to be honest with you. Tamina and Nia, people would really go ape crap over that. So TJS, what's your thoughts on this? It's going to happen.
Oh, man. What people don't understand is that there's only so much room on a card. There's not room for all these titles. There's barely room. Like, Raw feels so crowded, and SmackDown's even more so. Sometimes we don't even see people on SmackDown that should get spots. Shinsuke Nakamura didn't show up on that show sometimes, and he was a mid-card champion.
Right.
It's too much. I'm all for the women's wrestlers getting a chance, but enough is enough. I mean, you have to do away with something. I understand. On YouTube today, I commented on a video where I was saying, yes, WWE has the women to do this, but there's not enough space on the card. It's just going to be so jam-packed.
Right.
We get it. They even got rid of the overrun, so now there's less time. So what's going to happen now is that some more people are going to get lost in the shuffle, or they're going to try to expand Raw and SmackDown to get another hour to go on the network or something. I don't know. I'm fine with women's tag titles. But
right.
Once you have the women's tag title, you're going to kind of be spread thin on the singles wrestlers because you've got Sasha and Bailey, Iconics, Riot Squad, Sonya Deville and Mandy. There's a couple teams, but
if they have one set of titles, though, and they can go back and forth, it won't be too bad. I mean, that's literally what I think they would have to do.
Yeah.
That's fine, but I don't think that there's room to add a whole nother division. It's just going to be really jam-packed, I think.
Right.
We'll see what happens, Aaron.
Well, I would be totally cool with it if we had some of the titles merged. One world champion on both shows, have the IC champion on Raw, US champion on SmackDown, and then have one set of tag team champions for each show, and let that be it. My mom gets it. She doesn't watch wrestling, but she understands wrestling is oversaturated. There's just too much content out there, too many shows, too many titles, too much happening for people to keep up with, and people just lose interest when they get overwhelmed, unless you're the super diehard fan who watches every single show, and that's your life, which is fine. If you like watching wrestling 24/7, then WWE gives that to you. But for some of us out there, we like to do other things like watch Christmas Vacation 20 times in a week or do any number of things. But as far as I'm concerned, if they just merge the titles, I would be okay with the women's tag team titles. I sound like a broken record. I say it every week, but that's how I feel about it. And I assume they're doing a tournament, but who knows? Nothing has been confirmed at this time.
Who do you think is going to win it, Aaron? And coincidentally, who recently just hit 2 million YouTube subscribers as well?
Right. Well, apparently the Bella Twins are not popular, despite the fact that they hit 2 million viewers. I knew that was going to happen. As soon as I posted that, people responded, "They're popular, you're a liar, clickbait, blah, 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 blah." But
that's truth, right?
They do have Where's the lie? They do have 2 million used.
They're probably more casual fans that like them more, than wrestling fans, which is what WWE wants.
Exactly. But I think it's going to be Sasha and Bayley. That would be my guess at this point, and I would assume they're going to crown the first champions at WrestleMania. To me, that's what would make sense. But Big G, I mean, do you think a tournament's the right way to go, or do you think there's something else they should do to crown the first champions?
I think it is, but this is what I think. They should only have only a couple teams from Raw and only a couple teams from SmackDown competing for the tag team titles. Don't have all the women competing for the tag team titles like TJS said. You still got to have some single competitors to fight for the Raw Women's title or the SmackDown Women's title. As far as when they could crown them, I could see WrestleMania. I could even see them waiting until October time of 2019 when they move SmackDown to Fox and possibly get rid of this brand split. That way, and like you said, Aaron, merge some of the titles so you don't have all these titles on there. And, I mean, yeah, you might have some people lost in the shuffle, but how long has that been going on already? It's nothing new. It's going to keep on happening.
But I think it's going to get worse if we add another division.
Right. Well,
yeah, and then with Virtue saying, if they put it on the network, there's too many shows on there already. I mean, you have 205 Live, which I don't watch. NXT and NXT UK, I do watch, because I do enjoy those. But if you added a women's show, how long would you put that on there? And would you not show them on Raw or SmackDown anymore?
Right. And here's the thing about the tournament idea. I mean, just because you have, let's say, 8 teams doesn't mean all those teams have to be engaged in the storylines. I mean, you can have them part of the tournament, and then once you narrow it down to a few teams, you can have those other teams disengage from it and do some other things, and then you could just focus on a couple of teams that are feuding in the division and maybe have 2 teams feud on Raw, 2 teams feud on SmackDown, and have them try to go for that number 1 contender spot against whichever team is the champ.
I could see it being Lita and Trish Stratus versus Bayley and Sasha for the tag team titles.
I say the final is going to be Nia and Tamina versus Sasha and Bayley. I mean, that just knowing WWE, that's going to be if I see if they do that and there's the brackets and they're on the opposite sides, I'm going to be like, you got to be kidding me.
Right.
But the thing is, they taped Raw and SmackDown, but you didn't see Asuka or Becky or Charlotte or Nia and Tamina is not so really big, but you didn't even see them on Raw from this past week either. So it is what it is.
Right.
We will see. 2019, right? Vince says we're going to shake things up. All right, let's move over to SmackDown a little bit. It's hard to do these reviews when it's holiday time, and WWE's coming off the lowest ratings ever, and people are disinterested, and it's affecting our numbers. That's my excuse, so people don't blame me.
Right.
But we got to dig. We got to talk about stuff, pick it from the shows the best we can. So finally, guys, we got it on Christmas Day, even though it was taped from last week. It happened, Rusev Day, right? Isn't that the whole play of Rusev Day, Christmas? And what happened? It wasn't the WWE title like it should have been last year, Aaron. I'll start with you. They put a meaningless title on Rusev. Congratulations, Rusev Day is a thing.
Right.
So what's your thoughts if they did that with Nakamura, who's never on TV with that title, putting him over? Was it just, hey, let's just do this? Maybe 5 people will care?
Hey, it's Christmas Day, which is also Rusev's birthday, and it's also Rusev Day, so why not? I mean, have that feel-good moment. It doesn't really matter one way or another. It's just for the sake of doing something. Does it mean Rusev's going to get a big push? Probably not, but at least he'll get maybe more TV time than Nakamura. I don't know what this means for Nakamura at this point. I feel like, I think that it's been denied that he's leaving WWE, but I think he signed a 3-year deal, and I don't know if he's going to stay or not. I mean, from my understanding, he is, but what else can he really do at this point? I mean, yeah, he could probably just make a little bit of money with WWE and have a situation where he's not doing the heavier style in New Japan. WWE, he can be a little bit safer with his in-ring style at his age. But, I mean, it feels like there's nothing really else for him to do at this point. He was already in the WWE title picture, and that pretty much flopped. What do you do with the guy? I mean, TGS, what should WWE do with Nakamura? Should they invest in him? Should they send him back to NXT? Should they just let him go back to New Japan? I mean, what are your thoughts?
I think NXT needs to stop being developmental. Just they need to acknowledge it as a brand because that's what it is. Look at TakeOver New Orleans. That I believe that was WrestleMania weekend where there was the 6-man ladder match, Gargano versus Almas, Ciampa versus Gargano. All of these matches have just been amazing, and they call that the developmental brand. Are you kidding me? I'm worried that the people are going to get called up, Heavy Machinery, EC3, Lars, and I'm worried that they're going to get lost in the shuffle. It's like they're not getting promoted. They're getting demoted to the main roster. It's sad.
But, time out. From a fan's perspective, Aaron knows what I'm saying with this. From a fan's perspective, they're getting demoted. But we know the big juggernaut of WWE, when you're on their main stage trying to sell merchandise, trying to appeal to casuals, they make more money on the main roster. I mean, a lot more.
Oh, yeah, their pay is going to go up. But
yes.
I just think about what CM Punk said in the podcast with Colt Cabana. He said it's not all about money, which is fair.
Once you have it, you have it, you say it. See, Punk already had it, and then he said it. I wanted to see Punk say that if he never had it.
Yeah, let's wait 10 more years, too, and see if Punk still says that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, if you look at Tyler Breeze, have you seen Tyler Breeze's house? This guy's a jobber. And if you look back, he had a great match with Ricochet on NXT TV because I feel like NXT, you don't have the handcuffs on that you do on the main roster. I know that we say that a lot, but man, I don't know what's going on. I remember when Shinsuke Nakamura was first signed to WWE, it was the feud with Sami Zayn in NXT. We saw his face on the Titantron. We went nuts. There were newspapers going around in Japanese that said Shinsuke Nakamura to WWE. Everyone was so excited. And now he's completely ruined. WWE can just ruin anything. And it's just sad to see.
But to a 7 to 9-year-old kid, they might like him. Oh, who's that guy on SmackDown that does all these gyrations? That's WWE's model in mind. I think that's what they think of somebody like him.
And he has a cool entrance too.
Yeah, they don't try to appeal to us.
It's formulated towards kids. And
yes.
It's awful. I mean, it's just sad to say that I don't care about Shinsuke Nakamura as a character, as a wrestler. Did you guys watch the match with Rusev, by the way?
Yeah, it was a fine match.
I loved it. I thought it was a great match, and it's just sad that we don't see that every week. We see these just dumb segments, or we see him not appearing at all, and then the commentary tries to make up for it, and they say, oh, he's very picky about who he defends the title against. The last I checked, the wrestlers don't make the damn matches. They even say that every week. Shane McMahon, you don't make the matches, I do. So what? Someone else make them.
Big G, we got to get a kid's perspective on this, so go ahead, take it away.
His perspective?
Just kidding.
Ouch.
Go ahead. It's your turn, man. You were wearing the Steelers gear. I had to say that.
I guess congratulations to Rusev Day. He's a 3-time U.S. champion now. Hopefully he can make it more relevant. Maybe he'll get some more TV time out of this. Maybe we'll see some better matches, some different matches. As far as Nakamura goes, like TJ said, I feel bad for the guy, you know. What was it, 2016 NXT, and then gets on SmackDown, and
Royal Rumble winner, you know?
Yeah, Royal Rumble winner, you know. And I feel exactly the way TJS feels, you know. It feels like as soon as they get to the main roster, they're demoted. Vince doesn't like these NXT guys. He likes his own little crop. He plants his guys. They grow.
Right. Time out. I want you to continue. I have to ask you this right on the spot. Put yourself as an NXT wrestler. You can wrestle. The Big G. And the people love you
You're
in
a
NXT.
spot monkey.
Right? I don't even know what your wrestling style is, but
Spot.
People love you. Not Bull
flying
Durham or whatever that Bull guy's name used to be.
You get all your shit in one match.
They love you down there, but you're making $40,000, $60,000.
Okay, I know where you're going.
Then they say, hey, we want you up on SmackDown, and you're going to make $325,000 your first year.
And you only get to do a quarter of the moves.
Yes. And your merch record and your merch money will go up.
And you get to cut
What are you going to pick?
Okay, remember we talked about this on a Virtue's Rage one time.
We're talking about it on the review.
Okay, so this is from what I remember what I said. Got tongue twisted there.
Yeah.
If I was a wrestler and I was in NXT,
you would be a jobber.
We're saying
we're
giving them the benefit of the doubt.
I would want to stay down there and not go to the main roster because I want to do what I love. I came to wrestle.
You're going to
put a show on.
Yeah, what happens? Guess what? You break your leg.
Not to go on the main roster and be lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
And be on TV every once in a while.
You break your leg. You're out of commission for 8 months. Then what?
Wait, what?
You break your leg. You only get your downside guarantee for 8 months. Then what?
Okay, then I'm stuck with that. As long as I can go back down to NXT when I come back.
Did Kevin Nash teach you anything about the wrestling business?
So wait a minute, Big G. If like a huge YouTube channel that has like 1 million subscribers was like, hey, we want you to be on the show, and we'll pay you like triple of what you're making.
Hell, I'll do it.
No, I wouldn't do it. I don't do it for the money.
Oh, comment to Big G,
okay?
Please.
What?
I said all the comments about Big G. I mean, yeah, you're gonna. I mean, that's a big. We're talking. The wrestlers they do it as a passion, Big G. But at some point, they got to put food on the table. They got to look at their long term, and they want to get to the big stage to make
contract
Brock
comes up in NXT or WWE. Sorry, if they don't want to go up to the main roster, let them leave NXT. Go to the
Here's
Indies.
a secret. It's not a secret, but when you get to the main roster WWE, and once you're out of WWE, guess what? You can make a hell of a lot more money in the Indies because you were a TV star, and trust me,
look at Cody. Oh.
They can do that. Now you're probably like, well, why isn't it working for Enzo? Well, I bet you Enzo he might be failing at rapping, but I mean he still gathers crowds. Maybe not everywhere he goes, but people are still interested in him because he was a wrestler.
But where's he going to go? He doesn't do.
I would rather have a regular job than get promoted to the WWE roster and not be on TV at all.
But the house shows, from what I hear, are the best part of the job.
But you get paid to work the live events,
and you get to do all the Make-A-Wish stuff, and you get to do the charities.
Yeah, that's
you get
true,
to make the world a better place.
I don't know. That's just
and
my
if you
opinion.
want to make the world a better place, you got to look
WrestleMania
in the mirror
bonus
and make that
too.
change.
You know, you can be on the kickoff show at WrestleMania.
You can get that blood money from Saudi Arabia, and then you're set for life.
I would rather hear a whole crowd chant during the whole entire show at an NXT takeover than not hear. Rather hear boring at a WWE pay-per-view.
Hey,
or people,
and throw away $300,000 a year.
Like how they did with Rusev and Nakamura. They chanted Rusev Day, Nakamura, this is awesome. They edited that into the crowd because the crowd was sitting down the whole entire time.
Right.
So I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
Well,
like I said, I'm a
every night Rusev gets to go home on top of his wife, on top of a big pile of money. I don't think he's sweating it too much.
TJS, what would you do in that same spot? $40,000 in NXT or $3.25, $325K on the main roster.
What's
Big
your price?
G told us where he's going to stand. I'm just throwing those numbers out because that's probably
Ted
Tyler
DiBiase
Breeze.
said it best. Everyone has a price. So TJS, what's
pay
your
me-
price?
If they tell me that I can go to the main roster for $375,000 a year, I'll go out there and wear a damn
Plus,
chicken suit.
yeah.
Plus, I'll do the chicken dance. I'll do whatever they want if they're paying me that much.
And then you would get booked like the Revival.
I don't care if I'm making money.
Where's your
And Aaron, we know you would go.
TJS?
We know Aaron would go to the main roster. I don't even have to ask him. It makes sense.
I would join the Vince McMahon Kiss My Ass Club for that kind of money. You kidding me?
But I had to bring it up. And I think a lot of people think about stuff like that. So I hope the comments light up with people's opinions on that. Where would you want to go, NoDQ Galaxy?
Yes. What's the furthest you would go with Vince for money for $500,000?
Nice question, Aaron. I like it.
Kiss
Come
my
on.
ass. Well, that's it.
That's it? You won't go further than that?
No, sorry.
Okay.
What about you, Aaron?
It would take a lot, but I would need approval beforehand.
Wait, approval from who? Okay.
Well,
let's move on.
You said it in the chat room.
I don't think you need approval for kissing Vince McMahon's ass.
Make the sound.
That means if you were there, time out, if you were there doing that, there's more chances of this other person, Caitlyn, would be hanging with the Bellas backstage. So
that is true. I think as long as she got to do that, then...
yeah. Anyway.
Money makes the world go.
You know what? I probably would do it if she got to hang out with the Bellas for a week.
Just a little
round of applause, everybody. All right. So
and for the record, hold on. I would never kiss Vince McMahon's ass. I am sorry.
Yeah, you would.
No. Like I said, I'm a working man.
$2 million and the Steelers win the Super Bowl.
You would kiss Triple H's, though.
Oh.
Yes. I'm going to save you. Let's move on. Let's talk about... Go ahead, Aaron.
Well, what about the other segment that happened at the end of SmackDown after Nakamura versus Rusev?
That's what I was moving to.
Okay.
So some AJ Styles and Vince had a little segment backstage, and guess what we got to see? We haven't really seen this emotion from AJ since he was kind of like heel AJ. And even then, he smacked, even though it was one of those shaky camera moments.
Oh, that was so bad.
He punched, smacked, whatever you want to call it, Vince McMahon. Doesn't matter how it looked. The fact is, Vince was down on the ground because of AJ Styles. What does this all mean? Are we going to get something good out of this in 2019? Are we going to get not Bullet Club, but the club? Are we going to get a group against Vince? The rise of something with AJ. What's going to happen? TJS, I'll start with you. Or was it just a one little time to get the internet talking, and then it goes away?
I'll say that Vince seemed aroused by this because when he was laying there, he started smiling. And, like, you had Jamie Noble come up there. He's like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "I think I'm fine."
Well, ruthless aggression turns him on. So I've heard.
I don't know what is going on. I don't know why AJ Styles did this. If it's a heel turn, then I think it's a bad idea because he's the top babyface on SmackDown. And it's kind of heel heavy right now.
But Vince isn't a babyface, though. It could be. Could it be anti-authority, Steve Austin type?
They're all babyfaces now.
What I don't get is, I think that what happened with AJ and Vince needed to happen with Finn Balor and Vince. I think if it was Finn Balor and AJ's shoes, I would have liked it way more.
Right.
Because we've seen the vicious side of AJ when Samoa Joe was harassing his family.
Good point.
Like, what do you mean, Vince? You want to see the animal in AJ? I thought Batista was going to come and attack AJ.
I know, right?
Yeah, I don't understand.
Well, elaborate on your Finn thought then.
I think that if it was Finn and Vince McMahon was like, "Come on, damn it, show me the demon," and then Finn punched him or something.
And then Finn pulls down his pants and shows him the demon.
Oh, man.
That wouldn't be a character for him, I don't think. But I don't know. I hope AJ is not turning heel. I don't know where this is going to go because he only punched Vince once. So
Right.
what is every week is Vince going to be like, "All right, hit me right here, AJ"? Or we're gonna get Vince versus AJ at WrestleMania? Could you imagine? The Kevin Owens beatdown was way better.
Vince just gets hit right in the sweet spot.
Well, Vince's wrestling days are long over. Big G, what do you think? What do you think about this? Anything good going to come out of it?
I mean, if we do, maybe we could see Triple H.
I mean, I know you're
AJ
down in
at
NXT down there, looking at it from the NXT point of view, but let us know. What do you think?
I could, if this does move forward into 2019, if it wasn't a one-time thing, I could see Triple H versus AJ down the road at WrestleMania possibly, or the Royal Rumble. Or it could just be a one-time deal where Vince said, he wants to see the animal come out of AJ, and maybe we've seen a more aggressive AJ before, like you said with Samoa Joe. you know, and when he was a heel back in the day against Shane McMahon at WrestleMania, and before then when he was with facing Cena with the club Gallows and Anderson, we could see a club reunion. Who knows? But I do like TJS's idea. It should have been Finn in that segment, and you know, let me see your demon, but not what Aaron said. Not pulling down his pants and showing them demon. No.
Where Vince is just like, stop your smiling, Finn. Come on.
I'm telling you, I would have rather seen it be, and nothing against Finn, I mean, or AJ, I would have rather seen it Baron Corbin. Didn't he get humiliated by the McMahon storyline-wise? That would have made sense. Not, I mean, you know, he probably wouldn't get that reaction from the crowd. People just don't like Corbin. But I would have liked to roll with that. If I was the Vince Russo of this era writing for that, that's what I would have done. I would have made people be empathetic for Baron Corbin.
I don't think Vince could survive a shot from Corbin. That'd probably take Vince out for good. Like a stiff punch. I don't know.
He wouldn't be smiling, that's for sure.
Aaron, any thoughts on the little segment there?
Okay, so first of all, I thought it was not very well done. I haven't been a big fan of Vince since coming back. I feel like there's a reason he's not on TV, and it's the fact that he just comes off very old and senile. And
Wait.
I feel the segments have been awkward. I feel like the Santa Claus segment was awkward. I felt like this segment was awkward. I thought the slap was really poor. It was very weak. It was a very weak slap, and then the camera did that fast zoom in, zoom out when Vince did that weak slap. It just looked so bad, and this was a pre-taped segment. They could not do a second take of this? Was that the best take they could do of it? I mean, it was just...
He's getting old, Aaron.
I thought AJ was overreacting, like when he started screaming, and I thought it was weak.
Like,
I thought it was really weak. And
it was just like, it was one slap from an old man.
And that pissed him off that badly. I mean, yeah, I wasn't feeling it. It felt like it was thrown together last minute. Is there a direction? Could be, but maybe not. Maybe there is no direction. Maybe
I'm sure AJ will have some repercussions next week on SmackDown.
So wait, so Vince is going to be a heel again? Oh boy, how exciting is that?
So, Aaron, did you like the Kevin Owens Vince segment though? Like
that was way better. That was way better. And Vince bleeding.
Yeah,
that one was...
And
so if AJ headbutted him instead of slapping him, do you think that would have been better? Or do you think that would have just been like, oh, well, we saw that with Kevin Owens?
I want to see where this is going.
I think it should have been a Styles Clash right on the concrete floor.
Oh, Vince would
I'm just kidding.
Right,
Vince would have died on the spot.
I think it was desperate, again, to try and garner up some attention and get people interested. I'm
Internet gifts.
Like, part of me was wondering, like, if WWE was actually good at foreshadowing and actually producing some quality storytelling. Like, part of me thought maybe the animal reference was going to be foreshadowing Batista versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania. If Triple H is unable to go, WWE is going to go with Batista versus AJ Styles as a fresh matchup for WrestleMania.
There you go.
He kept saying animal too. Like,
right.
It wasn't just one, he just kept saying animal.
It would be so refreshing to know that they foreshadowed stuff like that, and then it does happen. But I just don't have faith. I just think things are a coincidence.
Right, and I would be surprised if there was actually a follow-up. I feel like they're not even going to reference this next week.
Yeah. You think Vince will still be popping in like this then? I mean, he's there every week in the gorilla position, so you think they'll keep doing him, or will it be more Shane, Triple H
Well,
stuff?
I don't know who's going to be doing him. I mean, again, I don't know who's going to be showing their demon backstage or not. But I feel like if the ratings go up after football season ends, maybe Vince will disappear. It depends how desperate he is. If the ratings stay down, we might be seeing Vince on a regular basis, and I just don't think he should be on TV anymore.
I mean, he's been casually appearing. You saw him just show up on SmackDown the other week and make the match between Asuka and Naomi. So I feel like the idea here is that we, instead of like one GM, we have four, and it's the McMahon. So
WWE's changing because the McMahons are running the show now.
Oh yeah, they weren't doing that before, so it makes more sense now. What a change! What a
change!
Well, if anyone can fool fans like there's something going to happen and change is coming where it never does, it's Vince McMahon. But we'll have to pay attention to the ratings to see if people are falling for it. And what did the last Raw draw? I don't know what this week drew, but The first one he came back on, wasn't it like 2.5? It went up a little bit. It was something like that, but it's still. I mean, you were over 3 million, and let's not even talk about what they used to be way back in the day.
Right.
Yeah.
Back during the Russo era, bro.
Yeah, that's right, man. But again, you had stars. You had nothing to lose. They had creative freedom. They were not afraid to tell Vince McMahon or Russo, whoever was booking and agenting them, we don't like this, and it showed. We got to see the best of Foley, the best of Rock, the best of Austin. You know, Triple H even did some good stuff.
Right.
Kane. I mean, we had a lot of top stars back then. Today, we don't. They're afraid. You know, they only want the one guy, whoever they're pushing.
John Cena.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, and it was Roman, but he's out. So, all right, main event time. And so, with this being the end of the year, I assume Aaron's going to have this up here in a day or so.
It'll be up tonight.
We've talked about 2018 reflections and this and that, but let's go ahead. Let's foreshadow 2019. We're going to go around at least once. What's everyone most looking forward to in professional wrestling next year? And I will start with Aaron Rift because he looks like he has something on the tip of his tongue ready to say it. Go.
It's actually quite a lame answer. I'm just looking forward to the NoDQ.com 21-year anniversary meetup in Toronto, Canada, where I'll get to hang out with all my good friends. That is what I'm looking forward to.
And I will be there, guaranteed 100%. So if you hate me, show up to Toronto.
Come confront Virtue face to face and tell him how much he sucks. But seriously, though, I guess I'm looking forward to the NXT shows because they're always consistently good. I am looking forward to what All Elite Wrestling does, if that counts. I'm curious to see if they can actually get going and start things up and actually be an alternative to WWE on a regular basis. And I am curious to see if WWE really makes changes. I don't think they will, but it will be interesting to see. And, of course, the whole Fox deal, will that blow up in WWE's faces if the ratings continue to drop? Will Fox have buyer's remorse, and will there be some more drama? I'm actually looking forward to 2020 to see what happens with the XFL, if that's another bomb, or if Vince could somehow make it work.
Man. How about the demise of Impact? Are you looking forward to that?
They're on Pursuit, so they're not going anywhere. They're going to live forever.
What is Pursuit?
It's an outdoor show. It's your kind of thing, TJS.
Why are they on that channel?
Weren't they on the outdoor channel once before?
No, they were on Pop. And
that was Destination America. I don't know what. Yeah,
well,
I don't
that's
know what
almost like an outdoor show, pretty much. Yeah.
If they're on an outdoor show or channel, they might as well just be backyard wrestling at this point.
So some backyard wrestling's good.
Man,
some's not though.
I think that the Royal Rumble, I'm kind of excited for that because I think I'm just excited for Brock Lesnar to lose the title. Honestly, I'm curious to see who's going to beat him. I think Seth Rollins has a real shot at this because I don't know who else does. I really can't think of anyone besides Cena or Rollins that would beat Brock Lesnar. And like you guys said, the Fox deal should be interesting. Hopefully SmackDown gets a new set at that point because, I mean, they didn't get it for SmackDown 1000. I really would like to see Roman come back in 2019. I hope that he does. I'd like him back as soon as possible. Hope he's in good health and everything.
Isn't that interesting, though, that's being said now? How many people are saying that just absolutely despise the guy while he was there? You know what I mean?
I mean, he's been off TV and the numbers have taken a hit. You can say it's a coincidence or you can say that's not. I mean, I don't know. It should be an interesting year. Like Aaron said, All Elite Wrestling, looking forward to that. Hopefully they have some competition. Hopefully WWE has to compete with them, but realistically, I don't see it happening. It's an uphill battle for sure. Big G?
You guys pretty much said a lot of what I was thinking about. I am looking forward towards the Royal Rumble because, you know, that's always big in 2019. As for me, I'm looking at how much bigger NXT and NXT UK is going to get bigger and better in 2019. Hopefully one day down the road, they'll put NXT on a main station like USA or on Fox or FS1
or Pursuit, whatever that
No,
network
I don't think
is.
So, what else am I looking forward to? I really haven't looked into this All Elite Wrestling thing yet, so I'll look into it and see how big it would be. And other than that, hopefully Raw and SmackDown gets better in 2019 as well.
All right. I'm looking forward to, obviously, anywhere I go with like Aaron said, the Toronto meetup. Chances are I am going to be in New Jersey for WrestleMania with my clan from around here. And so I'm mostly looking forward to what will main event WrestleMania. Will it be the guys again? Will it be Lesnar, Rollins, or whoever? Will Vince McMahon keep going with what he's always went with? Or for the first time in history, will the females finally get the main event? And everybody's now talking, it should be Becky and Ronda. So not only do I want to see if the females will headline Mania, who's it going to be? Because the internet wants Becky and Ronda, where I still think Vince McMahon and the higher-ups in WWE are still thinking Charlotte. Could we have a triple threat with those three? What exactly could you imagine? That would be a great main event. But could you imagine if they did go Charlotte versus Ronda, and then Becky ended up getting like Nia Jax in the middle of the show? But it's WWE. We have to consider every possibility. But I'm interested. I'm interested to see. The hype of WrestleMania is always there. I know when it happens, we get let down, right? But you still have the NXT show. You still kind of like the Hall of Fame, who's going in, this or that.
Right.
It's a good experience. Usually the matches don't seem to deliver, but the spectacle of WrestleMania, it's always great. The whole months leading into it, you're watching the old stuff. You go back and watch Andre and Hogan again, Warrior and Hogan, Owen and Brett, Savage and Steamboat. That's why I like WrestleMania season. WWE's hooked me. You can call me a yes man or whatever, but I grew up watching these great people, and just because the product seems stale today and the booking is shady, it doesn't change the greatness that I watched growing up and why I'm part of NoDQ and I talk wrestling, right? It's that stuff. We can talk about new and what's going to happen, but it's fun talking about what's happened and remembering how it was. Who'd you used to watch wrestling with? Your grandma or whoever. Right. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And also, I just have this weird feeling Chris Jericho's coming back to WWE for something. I know it. We talked about this. I said he's telling people that he hates the product now and he doesn't want anything to do with them. So when he comes back, we're like, hey, what? Huh? He's back. And if he showed up in All Elite Wrestling, I don't know how long that's going to take to boot up. But that would be cool, too. But, Jericho just showing up anywhere he wants, making names for himself. But that's it. But, Aaron, you were right. He did never show up technically on Impact, and nor will I just don't think that's not good for his brand, probably.
Exactly. Unless he wants to start working with Pursuit TV in some kind of partnership. Maybe Chris Jericho goes hunting and fishing. I don't know.
Doesn't he have like a ghost show or something now?
I've seen it, yeah, or I've heard about it. I saw like one episode, and it's it's the same old as Ghost Hunters, but they just try to do it a little bit different.
Jericho, he's going to have a ranch now. They're going to get like a ranch TV show or something like Broken Skull Ranch. I could see.
You know what they should do on a channel? Jericho should do this. They should make fun of every one of those type of shows. Ghost Hunter, Bigfoot Hunter, River Monsters, all of those, Survivor. And they should do spoofs of that, but like have Chris Jericho be the host of that. That'd be a cool, entertaining show. Make fun of all of that reality stuff that I think is a fad. And let's face it, ever since reality TV became big, has wrestling started going down the crapper, right? I don't know if that's a coincidence or not, but like I'm sick of Total Bellas. Sorry, Caitlin. I'm sick of Total Divas. I'm sick of all of that. It exposes too much of the product. I know kayfabe's dead, but
no, he's not.
Take that. Sorry, kayfabe candy ass. Take that energy that they clearly put into those shows and put it into your regular wrestling TV product, right, Big G?
Absolutely.
That's it, man. That is all I got. Anybody else have anything?
Kayfabe candy ass is not dead.
The end of the year before we call it quits.
Trying to think.
If Big G, do you want to go ahead?
No, go ahead, TJ. I'm trying to think of something, but go ahead.
Two things. I could see Becky Lynch ending up in like the female battle royal at WrestleMania because it's WWE and they would do that.
Ooh.
Second,
No thumbs down, just bad comments towards TJS right there.
And what would you guys think about maybe Undertaker beating Brock and then retiring as the Universal Champion? And then you have a blank slate. You could do a big tournament for the title.
Boring.
I think Undertaker should not wrestle. He should not wrestle.
Put it right back on Brock Lesnar anyways.
Next time we hear the gong, whatever it's called, the lights go out, it should be the announcement of the headliner for next year's Hall of Fame.
Yep, I agree.
That's what it should be.
Absolutely.
I don't know. He'll probably wrestle at the next Saudi Arabia show.
Yeah.
I'm surprised no one said they're looking forward for that next Saudi Arabia show in 2019. That's kind of weird.
I'm sure the rest.
I might not even watch it.
What happens if they took NXT over to Saudi Arabia? Big G. Then what would you? I'm asking. What would you do?
Aaron, what's your quote that you always say? I can't remember.
It is what it is.
No.
Now, see, here's the thing.
Hey, goodbye.
Broken record.
No.
I do not care about this match.
That's good.
The with the likely and unlikely or something like that.
That one.
What?
Highly unlikely and all likelihood.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I don't think NXT is gonna go to Saudi Arabia. If they do, then I might.
That's what else I'm looking forward to.
Well, the thing is,
that is so Vince McMahon. Well, nobody's liking our Saudi Arabia shows over in the States. What if I send NXT over there? All those people that said they boycotted, they're going to have to watch it then.
What
NXT
Saudi Prince is going to watch?
I know, because they want the big stars.
NXT, here you go. Here it is. NXT TakeOver Blood Money.
NXT.
Aaron, are we about at an hour? I like.
Yeah, we're past an hour. I think we've covered enough for this week.
All right, Big G, go ahead. I'll start with you.
Well, NoDQ.com/Big G takes you to my Twitter page. So if you want to keep on dishing out the hate comments, you can go there and do that. You can go into the comment section and dish out the more hate. Just keep it coming. I'll take it. Instagram is NoDQ_Big G. Facebook is Jeffrey Hiltel. And go to NoDQ.com/shirts. Everybody's got shirts. I got some new shirts coming in here, hopefully in the next week or so. And that's it for the Big G.
Spell your last name so people aren't thinking you're saying Hitler. Because you're German, so spell it.
No. It's Hill-Tull. Hill-Tull.
So close. Okay, I just wanted to clarify for everybody. TJS, thank you.
NoDQ.com/TJS. Take you to my Facebook, Twitter at NoDQ_TJS. And like Big G said, NoDQ.com/shirts. You can get all the great t-shirts there. And that's all I got, boys.
All right. Well, everyone head over to NoDQ.com for the very latest WWE news and rumors as we head into 2019. Head over to NoDQForums.com to check out the Facebook group if you dare. And follow the entire hashtag Team NoDQ. They're all great, all awesome people. And stay tuned for more details on the 2019 NoDQ meetup, which is currently scheduled for Toronto the day of the SummerSlam pay-per-view. And hopefully we'll get pretty much the entire team there in person for that event. Virtue?
And I highly recommend that. I was at the Chicago one, and I had a blast. And like I said, I was at Mania this year. I was at Disney World. I was in Atlantic City. I was in Toronto for UFC. And what stole the show for my 2018 was the NoDQ meetup in Chicago. So everybody knows I'm on Twitter at NoDQ_Virtue, Facebook, NoDQ.com/Virtue. So for TJS, for Big G, and for Aaron Rift, I'm Virtue. See you next year.